Does that look crazy?
Hello, everyone. We are live. Speaking of that, speaking of live, I saw that the Soulful Sides are going to be back again this weekend, and so what I had thought is like, ooh, turkey chops, the Soulful Sides, and the sweet potato pancakes. That sounds like Jesus loves me. I think
It sounds like Jesus loves you.
I think it's happening.
Okay.
So this weekend, don't unbring new when I'm in the line.
Here.
Soulful Sides, yes. Greens, macaroni and cheese, and sweet potatoes or yams. You know how we call it. And then, is it any other side I'm missing? Any other side I'm missing? Greens, macaroni, cheese, yams, and
rice and gravy.
Rice and gravy? Oh my God, I'm gonna be so fat this weekend. Oh my God.
Don't tell nobody, but we might have some potato salad too. And some coleslaw? And some coleslaw.
Okay. I'll give the potato salad to my husband. That'll be nice. Everything else is for me.
Bring the people in. Hey y'all, welcome to the TV show in the world, and welcome to your wonderful people that are going to be talking about it. Ettafly, Jen, and Alicia. You be ready. We be looking like we've been at work.
I gotta get dolled up to see you guys.
I see. It's like our last little situation.
It is.
Until we walk another situation or something. But did you see? Before we start, did you see that the next season is coming in July? Oh,
why so soon?
July was 21st. They're going to be in Houston, in Texas, I believe. So I don't know if it's Houston.
Okay. Ready Love was in Houston, and now they're going to be in Houston.
I don't know if it's Houston, but they're going to be in Texas. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I saw they showed part of the face of one of the couples. I think it might be an Asian couple.
Okay, good. Because I don't think they've had a Asian couple.
I don't think they had. Mm-mm. But anyway, I did see that. Are there people here? You want to find out? Let's see. There's a few people. If y'all out there, give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts, say something. Hey, Nikki.
Give some worship hands to be free from
worship hands.
Some worship hands to be free from these couples. I felt a release on decision day. Like, thank you, God. Okay.
Yes. Who's here? Let us know. Yes. Oh, Nikki Smooches. Hi, Nikki. I've been thinking about you. Yes. I was meaning to text you. She asked me, "You talking to Nikki?" I was like, "She sent me an email." That was like an email, right? I was like, Nikki, you already sent me an email. What's really going on? Anyway, here we are talking about Married at First Sight, season 12. It's over, y'all. It's over.
Worship hands.
Yes, worship, prayer hands. We made it. We made it to the end. This was like my favorite show, and now I don't even want to watch the next season. This is a lot. I really don't. We're gonna see who they pick and if they're interesting. If she look at it, she'll tell me if I want to watch it. Then I'm gonna like to watch it. But right now, I'm not really enthralled about it. She's not. I'm not. I'm not really enthralled either. I just want to see if they're gonna do better.
I'm more excited about the Unmatchables.
Are you? I haven't been watching. I need to really watch it because y'all really like it.
Yeah, Unmatchables are kind of cool. It's cool.
Okay.
It's cute what they're doing. It's you can tell it's a little scripted, but it's cute. It's cute.
I won't say it's scripted because I feel like it's scripted. Oh, it is scripted. I think it is. This girl talking about she be twirling all day long.
Now that the twirling thing, I feel even how she talked about feeling the burst of energy. I feel like maybe that sounds kind of very similar to stimming behaviors that you see. So I was like, yeah. So I was like, maybe that's what she's talking about with the twirl thing. Because she'll feel this burst of energy and then she'll just twirl. And then it feels free for her.
Actually twirl?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That was...
Like, some people have, like, look at your face. I believe people have, like...
Y'all, she never had a relationship. She texts. She only has text.
Exactly. So doesn't that very...
Was she a virgin?
It don't seem like she a virgin. No,
so how she acting if she's only texting people?
What happened?
She has text situations.
Text stations ships.
She said she literally does not see them in person. She freaks out if she sees them in person. I'm trying to figure out if she was
even on this show. How did you even get cast?
Like, she bad, y'all. She pretty. Like, she was a pretty woman.
Gorgeous.
Like, sex pot energy. Like,
yeah, she's gorgeous.
But you texting, you only text.
She applied for married at first.
If you had put those together, I was like, oh, how are we?
Right, like, come on.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right. So who do we want to start with?
We want to do the order in which they did it on decision day. And that would be Ryan and Clara's first.
Yes, you walking out with this pan on your shoulder. Don't be dropping that on the floor.
Uh-oh, please don't drop. Don't drop that.
I'm gonna jump on your head. You come.
I'm gonna jump on your back. Ryan and Clara.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just ask you a question. Were we even close to who was right for our initial decisions about what we decided was going to happen?
I think we did say Ryan and Clara were going to stay together.
We did.
The first time. We did say.
Mm-hmm.
From day one, we did say it. We gave them a yes, I believe.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about them staying together. I hope that things shift for them.
I see some growth, though. I really felt like Claire looked really nice in her pink, like, mauve dress. Her little belt was cute. She looked like she had matured some. Now, I believe her concerns were definitely valid.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed more settled. Like, she had not settled for him, but she just kind of like her like foundation that kind of like just leveled out some.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And I think that he is the most positive person she's been in a relationship with. I think that even though he's holding out on the sex, I think that has been a positive thing for her.
Mm-hmm.
In a weird kind of way.
Yeah. I still don't like that. But
I don't like it, but I think that it's
as long as this is what he wants and he's happy. And they really could grow, like, now that the show is over and the cameras aren't there, like, maybe he'll be more comfortable.
It is very big.
Everything, like, but I just found he was just like annoying. He got more annoying as the season went on. He just really annoyed me. But as long as Clara is happy, I like Clara. I actually like her. Really not much else to say. I knew they were gonna stay together. I was like, if he don't stay,
she was moving in his house.
Her answers, yes. I knew her answers were gonna be yes. But
absolutely.
Like, he wasn't gonna be on there and be like, no, I want a divorce. He was gonna say yes. So they didn't show any like scenes from him from the show coming up next week, did they?
No, I know I remember him saying that they don't show everything, and so how things. He was, I guess, alluding to the fact that there was a lot of things on their end that he feels were missing.
So there wasn't anything like, oh, they might not be together anymore. It was just they're probably still together. Right. Everything is going good. Okay. Well, what you think, Alicia?
I'm hoping that they work their big stuff out. It's still possible, like for them to work out the church stuff and the for him to break down these walls of trust that he has, because because he's worth it. She's worth it. She's been patient, and she has not shifted. and the shifting that she has done is towards him, not away from him. So
right. And even when all the couples at the end, and it was like, so who's married? And she was like, of course we stayed married. She was like, I'm getting into bed at a certain time now, y'all. Everybody started laughing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was. I'm hoping they work out all the kinks.
I think that they just need to be off camera. I think off camera might be better for them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine how much pressure it is to be on camera. I don't even know what that looks like.
Miles and Karen on that countdown show, Miles and Karen said that was a couple that really kind of was at the same speed as them. And they could really. He only talks about him being obedient, like he has no feelings. He don't really act like he has feelings.
Who, Ryan?
Yeah.
He's very closed off.
Yeah. So hopefully he opens up and
we didn't even learn who Ryan is. We don't even know who Ryan is.
We still don't know.
Yeah.
He left weights.
But he definitely moves at his own pace. He's not gonna let nobody push him or rush him. Oh my God.
Oh, Koya.
Koya's he's gay.
Koya.
All right. Who out here thinks Ryan is playing for other team? Besides Koya. Anybody think Ryan's playing on our team? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know nothing about him.
All the straight men in the world.
I literally, this is the third season I've watched where I feel like one or two couples could come back on the junior show and be divorced. Could be. Yep.
Are they next?
Haley and Jacob.
Haley and Jacob.
And my man Jake.
I love Jake.
They did say they had a little announcement.
Ryan and Claire.
Ryan and Claire did.
Yeah. I was like, is she pregnant? Did they have the sex for the first time and then she's pregnant?
I don't think so. I think I love her first.
They're getting the dog together. That's what she said. They're getting another dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mishka's gonna have a sibling.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned. But Haley and Jacob.
I'm glad they're free from each other. They're free.
They should have been free a couple weeks ago, but you know,
a long time ago.
That's what they decided to do with their time.
Exactly. And like Koya said backstage, Haley did look nice. She got a little long split on. Had a little curl in her hair. Had a little wave going on. She was cute. She learned something. Jacob didn't learn nothing. Jacob he wasn't feeling it. They just didn't get along. And I don't even know where the breakdown happened. Like
at the beginning.
Was in the beginning. I really want to blame Haley. Really.
It was after they got drunk that night on the honeymoon and they had sex. When she got up that next morning, she had pulled away. Mm-hmm. At least that's what we saw on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what we were showed.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
something else happened.
That's pretty much it. Like her being super rigid about like what she wants it to look like, and him having his past. Sounds like he had a lot of past like horrible relationships in the past, and that one lie took him to the edge, and he like, I can't get over it. Like, and then you don't want to say that you lied, like you don't want to own up. Okay, then no, we're gonna keep having this conversation over and over again because we can go kart racing as many times as you like, but it still doesn't mean that I'm going to be like building a relationship with you because you
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they are, but when they got back together at the end, Haley was like, I learned a lot about myself, and he was like, I didn't learn anything. she had that expression on her face again. She was like, see guys, this is what I'm talking about.
Jake. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
I wanted him to just say, "Yeah, I learned a couple things about myself." I wanted him to say that because in her mind, she was like, "This is why."
This is just right. Mm-hmm.
But
he was just over it.
Yeah, he's over it.
I'm happy they was done. I thought they was gonna try to, rekindle something or try to do something. But I'm just like,
have it work.
When it's done, it's just done. It's done. Maybe they can hang out afterwards. Maybe off camera, they might be better off camera. But I think they're just done.
He's over her.
Yeah.
I don't even see
he did say it. He said, "Once I'm done, I'm done."
That's it.
He said that much very early on. He was like, "I'm afraid that I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna be over you.
I'll be over you."
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna come around when it's gonna be too late.
Mm-hmm. He said the facts. Those are the facts from Jacob. I wanted him just to open up a little bit, but I think he just shut it. He was just shut down.
He was.
She disrespected him too many ways. He wasn't feeling that.
She lied about whatever.
Lied about the bracelet. Lied about the whole girls' night thing. Pulled away from him. Didn't want to ride with him to the couples thing. Sleep in the same bed. I mean, she made it evident she wasn't trying jack shit. She wasn't trying.
Rosalind want to know what y'all eating. Rosalind, she want to know what y'all eating.
We always eating, right?
We are. It's our eating time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Panda Express.
Ooh, Panda Express. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your phone at?
Mm-hmm.
I don't do nothing.
Why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm. I'm a little taking a difficulty right now. Hold up. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Zuri. Hey, Denise. Let's see. Who else is out here? My phone. What's wrong with my phone? I see it now.
He's the old part, even though his age doesn't reflect that.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted him to do better and to, whatever, but whatever. This is exhausting. Like, this whole thing was just exhausting. Like, it was just like, they just had no support to try to make it. Like, it was just horrible.
And as much as Haley thinks she tried,
she didn't.
She did not.
That was
not full effort.
Haley was her effort.
Haley was more concerned about, I'm getting a divorce, so technically it's a failure. Mm-hmm. This is a failure for me. And I'm like, that was her concern.
Mm-hmm.
But she was not trying. She really wasn't.
No, she wasn't, and that's why he was petty when Pastor Cal asked him, if Haley said, if you want to do a redo, would you stay? And he was like, well, we didn't try the first 8 weeks. Why would we really try afterwards? And I was like, yeah, it's pretty accurate. And then she made a face and said, well, I've given this relationship all I can give it, which
Dr. Pepper was like, no, you haven't.
Oh, I want to, Rosalind, come on. She says she feels like Jake is the problem. She disagrees.
Hold
Rosalind. Okay,
I'm about to send you the link, Rosalind. Hold up.
And another friend of mine feels that way. Like he never gave her room, which I do agree that like once that one mistake happened, he was just like, it's over.
Well,
it's like
Jake said that her family told him when she gets like that, she needs space.
Why is Rosalind?
So give R-O-Z-A to give her space, and her family did.
I gave you the link.
Advice about Haley. So he said, once your family told me that, they said when you get like that, I backed off. She said to her that felt like he wasn't in it. He wasn't trying. So that could have just been like a miscommunication. Like her parents
said that in the
told
beginning.
Him that, and so he
and her sibling.
She was Haley time, so leave her alone. So he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave her alone."
He took it literally,
and then she was like, "Well, it just felt like when you did that, you weren't interested. You didn't care."
I don't think he could have won a battle with her.
Yeah. So if he's taking advice that he got from her mom and her dad, like what else is she supposed to do?
Who's not start that quick?
Robin.
Hey girl, you
Hi
feel?
guys, thank
Yes,
you.
bring to the side.
Thank you. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry I was MIA for a few weeks. I was taking a class, like a free class on diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace, and
Okay.
I had to get that certificate, so that's why I've been MIA.
Okay.
But Jake and Haley. So me and my husband, and this is weird because I thought he would be against me, but he actually agrees that Jake was a huge problem. Like,
What's happening?
no, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
I mean something on there, yeah.
okay. Jake,
Oh, they froze on.
they
So-
froze.
Wait.
Hold on. Okay. All right now.
There we go. We
Y'all
back?
good? Okay. So Jake was the problem. Jake was kind of, I don't believe Jake was really trying. I'm not gonna say that Haley was trying too, but I don't believe Jake was really giving a full valiant effort. I feel like once they got back, he had kind of decided in his mind, because they had a lot of good moments, and when it would be a good moment, he would a lot of times sabotage that moment. A lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be moments where she would try and she would focus on the good. And like, we're having a good day. And I could see her giving a visible effort to be positive and to try not to focus on the negative things. But he would be so quick to go negative. Like, and to ruin the moments that they did have where she was kind of open and where she was, just trying to get to know him. Like, they show clips, it's the thing that I hate about it is that it's editing, right? So you can never really tell like what's really going on when it's going on. But some of the clips that they showed, where like when they were sitting down and they were talking on the couch, and she would ask him questions and he would never really open up. And in those moments, I guess, and like really like respond to those questions, he would kind of just be like, yeah. First of all, that was annoying too. Like, please open your mouth and speak. Like, he was literally like one note.
Mhm.
Like, how is a person supposed to be attracted to a person that doesn't really talk to them or give them things about themselves? I don't really think that he allowed himself. He wasn't as bad as Ryan to me, because Ryan didn't open up at all. But he wasn't, to me, he wasn't vulnerable enough so she could see a softer side of him.
Yeah.
And they were petty. And first of all, my top pet peeve is a petty man, an emotional dude. Like, I'm sorry, but that is a pet peeve for me, because like, yeah, I mean, you can go back and forth, but he literally like went back and forth with her like all the time. It's like, okay, one, y'all do have to be adultish here, but like for a man, I don't know, I'm just used to like, I don't know if it's my husband or whatever that's helped me get used to like just men just kind of being a little bit level-headed when it comes to the emotional part, just not going back and forth, because men don't, I don't know, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you start seeing men go back and forth with women, you be like, you little hurt, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But so for me, I don't think I would say it was all Haley. I think Jake was a huge problem for me. He had a little temper for me. He didn't seem violent, but he was extremely petty. And he just, it was just, I don't think he tried. I just don't.
I think it's interesting you say that. Just about. I think sometimes, and I can just say by myself, if you still have something on your heart, and you need to kind of get it off your chest or talk about it,
It's gonna keep coming up.
it's gonna keep coming up. And it's kind of like, I think we talked about this like maybe 2 weeks ago, or somebody said like, who are we talking about? We're like, she shouldn't have said that. She should have said it like this. I think it was Brianna said something to Benny, and excuse me, and it was like, you should have said thank you. But I don't think sometimes we know. It's like I talk to a guy, and sometimes he'll say something, and I'll say something back, and he's like, you ruined the moment. And I'm like, I didn't even know. Okay.
It's a moment. Oh,
Right.
I didn't know it was a moment, or I didn't know this ruined it, or I just couldn't say this. we couldn't. And so I just wonder, like those cues, those things that some of us have and some of us just don't. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of like a personality thing to kind of like maybe people kind of get it and they can vibe with it, and maybe the people that don't get that, that's not. I don't know. Like I just wonder that sometimes, like oh, I didn't know I couldn't say that. Like I didn't know if I didn't know that ruined the moment. It's like, dang, you just ruined the moment. Or it's sometimes I'm doing something and the guy say some shit. I'm like, oh, here you go, mess the moment up. So I guess it's just kind of like maybe it's an individual basis. And so
I was just about to say, I wanted to say that it was like I was listening to Roz. I was listening to you explaining like this type, right? And I was like, yeah, I've never been blessed with dating those men. I get the emotional men. So I'm like, yeah, I definitely have male friends that are very much that. It's a type though. Like that's just the type you used to. Like I know men who cannot explain themselves at all, and they're gonna brush you off. And I know the Chris's. Like I know a lot of those. I know a lot of Chris's, and that's why I really think that they have in the last 3 seasons included people on the spectrum and not told the partner.
You think so?
He has no social cues, y'all. He can't continue the conversation.
You talking about Jake?
Jake cannot continue the conversation because he does not. That's not how his processing works.
Yeah,
it's not because he's being rude. He has no idea how to carry a conversation in that way. And I know it because he's a script. He sounds scripty. And I know that's something we use to teach, people on the spectrum to communicate properly. They usually have a script. So if you don't give him questions to ask to follow up, it's going to look rude. I actually think she got some social cue issues, but because of being out of dating for so long.
Possibly. Yeah.
So I think they thought.
Yeah.
Maybe they could balance each other out, but I think they need to be a little more upfront about some of these undiagnosed people they bring.
I just think they're matching badly too.
I mean,
I don't think they're doing a good job of matching people at all.
No. Do you think that Haley never thought to herself, he might be on the spectrum, like he might be autistic?
Oh, she asked him the exact questions we would ask you if we couldn't directly say you're on the spectrum. She asked him the exact questions we used to bait you into like trying to figure out if you on the spectrum.
Like what?
She did?
Like it was certain little communication things. And you know who did it as well? What was the girl that was dating Henry?
Yes.
She did it too. Now hers was a little more
she
did it outward. But Haley a couple of times would be like, she would just say, you don't follow up with this, and this. Like, why wouldn't you ask me if this is? So she's asking a question that he probably cannot really answer. Specifically, his time frame of where he was born. There are mostly undiagnosed people in that time frame.
Right.
And so I'm watching him, and me and my mother are both special educators, and I'm like, he's on the spectrum. He did really well. Like he did really, really well. He communicated a lot, but that is also a part of it. Like, and let's say if he's on a part of the spectrum that's more like Asperger's, it can come off rude. They are very upfront. They are very direct.
Very direct.
No filter. Like he just stuck in that time. That's like a thing too. Like that's his thing. That's the thing that he attaches to.
Yeah, he does everything the same. They eat the same things. He does the same. Like it's really
very.
Yeah.
Some of the coaches and some of the doctors, if you watch certain people on the shows, they will direct their questions to them in a certain way. They did it with Henry a lot. They did it with Henry a lot.
Henry though,
without saying his diagnosis.
Well, Dominique said, if you ain't been in a relationship for 7 years, your first relationship can't be marriage.
Correct.
Fact. Yeah, that was a bad call on it.
I mean,
I would be terrified.
And Baca was in with somebody for 5 years. So, you know, come out of something. She said,
oh, was it that long?
Yeah, so
she's young.
I definitely think that Jacob was. I don't know if I think this might sound bad, but I don't know if I think Haley was that smart to really feel like. Is he on the spectrum? I don't think she was like really crafting her question.
No,
like
being intentional,
not intentional,
right? Or having insight.
He just was like, "What's wrong?"
Right, right. Somebody like 4 or 3 years ago, and when I first met him and started communicating with him, I was like,
I wish the experts would have gave him a kit, right? Like, try a date night. This is what you need to do. Do this, this, and this. Give him the rose petals. Give him the basket with the stuff. Like, that's at some point somebody should have been like, he doesn't know how to do.
He didn't do much.
What she's asking, but I wouldn't do it for her. Never. Her energy was trash. She just wanted to win at everything. Win. You are the worst for a man's ego. Go night night.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't hate her. I didn't lie.
I would never hang with her. Jake was funny to me.
Like, people are different, and people in different crowds too. You know, different people bring out different things.
I feel like her friends didn't like her either.
I feel like her friends were the most honest with her.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They was raw
because they know her. And
it was like, don't get married.
But I think that's a good. I think sometimes that's a good indication, though. Sometimes of how good a person can necessarily be if given the enough time and potential, because she surrounded herself with people who do hold her accountable, with people who do challenge her. So she's not able to just to get away with the BS, but she probably just needs some more. She needs
that is possibly why she has so much control in her relationship too. Like, maybe that's why that dating thing didn't work for her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I agree. Whoever said coming out of after 7 years straight into a marriage,
can you imagine?
She should have been on Unmatchable or whatever that show is.
Oh God,
correct. I pick apart everybody who I'm in a relationship with, Unmatched.
Can they just incorporate this into the Married at First Sight like training? Can they just like?
Yes, it should be.
That's what I said.
Together.
There should be like
there needs to be more of like a process, as aside from all the interviewing and the house visit. There needs to be more of a process to make sure these people are ready, because I don't pick nobody that has not been in a relationship for 5 or 7 years, especially if they're in their mid to late 20s, because that means it's a teenage relationship.
Exactly.
It was not an adult relationship. So,
yeah. Dominique said she still needs to know what happened with Haley and Jacob. I looked up and she had checked out, and I'm still confused. I hope this thing next week sheds some light. I think that they had the sex, and it wasn't right, and she checked out. Something happened in that sexual interaction between them that she did not, that she couldn't come back from.
I mean, that's simply it.
Something happened.
And she never wanted to tell him.
Yep.
He kept asking, and she never wanted to tell him. He really wanted her to say it.
Yeah.
If she would have gave him instructions, y'all, he would have took them and applied them.
He sure would have.
A lot of times,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's what happens. And we were talking with Ebony earlier, and we were going over the episode, and she mentioned that there may have been a couple, because I said I don't think any couples have stayed married through the reunion show and then gotten a divorce. And she said she thinks it's one that's gotten a divorce. And so she brought him up, and she was just like, "Why am I telling you this?"
She said because the girl didn't like the way they had sex.
Right.
Oh, that was the reason why they broke up?
She was still hung up on the way her ex-boyfriend was giving it to her. And she had an affair with the ex.
You're right.
And so they ended up getting a divorce.
Yeah.
And she went back to her ex.
Right. And so my thing is like, it's all about communication. And so, of course, when you're with a new partner, they're going to be new. And so some people are going to feel your energy and they might know. But most people on both ends, there's a learning curve.
Unless it was something that just couldn't be changed.
That's what I'm
really
saying.
Scary or really
Gross.
gross. But I
Like,
think they
man-
could have talked about it.
Yeah, but if you don't say,
have a conversation.
Maybe sometimes there's some things you just can't say because like you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
Well,
He was so adamant though about asking y'all.
He was.
It was rude. It was really rude at the fact that she didn't even try to come up with something.
No,
like,
she knows she wasn't attracted to him.
Right.
She knows that.
I don't think he was attracted to her. Or
no.
I don't think that. He said the same thing. He was like, I mean, she's cute. I see how this works. Like they weren't attracted to each other. They were just like, oh,
there was no chemistry.
Hi.
Hi.
It was like, I feel like early on she didn't really even have like the words, like the language to say to him what could correct the sex if that was the issue. And then
her language is trash too.
And then he values honesty. That little lie or big lie, with however you classify it, of I'm going for me time, but it's really or the girls and everybody, and then you don't explain. Like, I did say that, but then they came down. I apologize. I should have invited you. None of that.
Like that fight never happened. Why they always act like that fight didn't happen?
But if it's like
she really feels like that's not how it happened.
Right.
That's what happened.
But that's what she said happened in the Unfiltered.
Yes, that's what
she said.
Oh, she did. She said on the Unfiltered.
She said that Unfiltered. She just didn't ever say that to him, at least for us to see on camera.
Yeah.
That we didn't see that footage of that conversation.
I thought she said. When did I see it? Because
I feel like we did see it on camera.
I feel like we saw on the.
Oh,
show.
we saw his reaction.
Mm-hmm.
He told us the story.
Yeah, I remember
the camera
that they had went down.
And she kind of made it seem like he was lying.
Right.
Like stretching the
truth. I think she said that on Unfiltered.
Okay.
She said that it was supposed to be the girls, and then a couple of the guys ended up coming down too. And she was like, I can't control if they're coming down too. And he was like, well, why didn't you send me a text after some of the guys came down? Like, hey, some of the guys are down here now. You want to come down? And
call the room.
She didn't want to be bothered with him in the first place.
Right. Say the truth.
Yeah, that's
but it's okay that she didn't want him to come down too. So that's the reality of things too. Like,
you just needed to say it.
But she lied.
True. But then that would have been hurtful. No matter what she said, it would have been an issue though. And that's the thing. Like, it could be the truth, but it doesn't mean that.
I think my irritation with her is if a man would have done any of the stuff Haley did, we would have been digging in his ass. Like, if a man maneuvers the way Haley maneuvers all the time, actually. You know what I'm saying? But because it's like, we giving her a lot of slack. To me, she's moving in a way I would never want a man to move. Like, you at some point, you could have called the room and let me know everybody was down here.
I think that's
Or you could have been like, I wanted a break.
I think that's a small thing though. And I think people focus too much on the small things.
Like she lied, told the mother,
but that was
for the gift back, and he never said that. He was not that type of man. He literally just said, I want you to be in the vicinity with this bracelet.
I don't believe that's the truth though.
He was adamant about that.
But why? And for me, like,
I think you don't get that he's on the spectrum. Like, he cares about stuff.
Like, because he gave her a gift. They're not really like.
He really, it was a respect thing for him.
Even I'm married and give my husband gifts he don't like, and I'm gonna go like, so you're not just gonna wear the shirt that I gave you,
but you know him, and he doesn't sound like he's a petty man.
That's my point. But that's my point. This is somebody you just met, and how is she supposed to? How are they?
He just never tried to impress him as a female with a male. When did she ever try to like show any gumption for real that she was cool about anything? Like, she didn't even appreciate the bracelet.
She rejected him before.
Every wife was geeked about their husband's gifts,
and they put it on immediately.
She was trifling. The Dr. Pepper was like, "You trifling, hoe." Dr. Pepper said, "You trifling, hoe."
She did not say.
There's so many words.
So many words. She was like, "You trifling."
In the Dr. Pepper way.
Yes. Like, you don't even
before she saw
you ain't trying.
All she did was come in there and said, I don't like your outfits. I don't like your face. I don't like your stuff. I don't like anything. Change everything. I'm perfect and amazing and stylish. No, you're not.
I disagree. I disagree. I believe that was her way of trying to connect with him. Like, because he wasn't connecting with her in any other way. He wasn't doing anything to pursue her but the bracelet. Like, there was no...
I think that you don't see that they were both awkwardly not knowing how to date each other.
And I don't think
that both of them actually were super rude.
I don't think she was perfect. I just don't think that it was just all her.
Like, she was even mean to the tarot reader. I think was just like, yes, that's all. That's him all day. And I was like,
in the relationship too. I think that's what I think. That's why I disagree, because I feel like, of course, she wasn't all perfect or whatever, but I did see times where she was trying, where he did not attempt to meet her try, and so I can't.
I think too much had happened already.
Yeah. It was for him.
He was already.
Go ahead, Alicia.
For him, the lie about the girls' night, the fact that you're not wearing my necklace, the fact that you pulled away after I kissed you at the altar, the fact that you switched up after we had sex. So like he's like, okay, he's already he's a calculator. He's like, all right, so
that sex thing was probably the worst part.
Yes, yeah, he's like, so who are you? Now he's in the place of like, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Who are you? Like, who you're showing me you are. This is not.
Like, did y'all recognize her on that couch on decision day? I didn't. I said, this Joan looks happy.
Who are you? And so,
who is this Joan? Harper, who this woman?
And so, if they were to do a puzzle, go ballroom dancing, go to the batting cage, do whatever.
I do not think he would be easy man to date, but I don't think
he would still be like, "Who are you?"
Like intentionally rude until the end, towards the end.
And that's where you saw like his self-sabotaging behavior of like, oh, we're sitting down having this lovely dinner. No, who are you though? Like, still, I don't understand, because like what happened was we was at the altar. I gave you the necklace, you didn't have it on. You lied about it.
Ruined that move real fast, though.
He's like, I'm still there. I don't know who you are, and I can't.
You know what? I think it's because she's fake.
To relax, and I don't know who you are.
I think it's because she's fake, and he didn't have patience for the fake shit.
That was one of her complaints. That was his personality. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get past it, because I think it could have been somebody else and it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Except she still just seems fake. Like, as a human to human, she seems like a fake human.
She didn't seem fake to me.
She seems false. Like, that's why her friends go on her like that. She's all the time.
I think she's just still in self-discovery. I think maybe she doesn't really know who she is
at all.
She learned a lot.
He did.
He learned nothing, which is the issue.
He's like, I'm almost 40.
It is.
He's like, I'm almost 40. This is just another date.
That's the petty coming out. That's just his petty.
He didn't mean that.
Said he learned something. I don't believe he learned the thing.
Chris ain't learned nothing.
He at least
Chris learned nothing.
I don't think he learned the thing.
No, we're still on Haley and Jacob.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying.
We ready? Like what you said?
No. I was just saying that he had mentioned that he learned something and Jacob, and that's what people's responses was like.
Oh, he was petty by that. Yeah. He was being so petty. I was like, oh, Jacob.
He's tired. I can relate. When you tired and you over something and people keep asking you questions, you gonna be petty.
Yeah.
Asked him that question the last several weeks.
He's tired of it.
He's tired of you asking.
Y'all remember Claire and the donuts?
Oh, that was the best.
She was like, "Is this a TED Talk?" I thought
that was legit the best. That was like my favorite thing of the whole season. Are they frozen?
Yeah, I just really like these donuts. I just really like them.
I feel like you're like, come to the session and get free donuts, and I'm like, that was hilarious.
Like,
that was probably the funniest scene of.
That's when you just over it. You done. You like, I don't care anymore.
Like, you're trying to make me have all these goals and accomplishments. Like, I'm a flight attendant. I fly across the world, and I'm doing that.
He was so mad about her white privilege. He was upset with her white privilege.
Well, I gotta accomplish. I don't
want to accomplish anything. I'm gonna keep flying.
I'm fine.
Yeah, she was content.
I go to protest when I feel like it.
I can't with you, Goya.
Go ahead, killing yourself.
They just disturb me. These are the most two disturbing humans to me. I don't know who Claire is. She's not who I thought she was.
Are y'all there? Y'all keep freezing.
Yeah, they're trying to. They're trying to figure it out.
It's something happening. We don't know if y'all can hear us or not. We keep talking about it. Y'all talking over. We don't know what's going on.
Y'all definitely like. Well, y'all, we can see y'all now.
Yeah,
we can hear you now, but you were frozen for a good a minute or two.
Yes.
So what did y'all say?
Yeah,
we were on.
Yeah, y'all screens was off.
We were on the Misfits.
Black. Yeah, y'all screens are all black.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
You might have to.
It keeps on like
closer to your
over and over.
Did y'all just refresh your page?
How far are you from your modem too?
Yeah, where's your modem? Yeah, they need to refresh. It'll come back on. Oh man, this show.
Did y'all already talk about Ryan and Claire, or y'all were just on?
Yeah, we started with them.
We talked about them. How do you feel about their decision to stay together?
That was the best response ever.
I don't know. They don't know each other. I mean, like when they were at the thing, they said, "How are you doing with Claire? Because she's so full of life." I'm like, and there she sure isn't a pushover. I'm like, you sure? Now she is over this entire.
She's definitely a pushover.
She's definitely a pushover. I don't know what Claire you're talking about, but the one we've seen all season is a little insecure.
Yeah.
And has not been honest, because ain't no way we sitting in conversations and you're like, it'll happen when it happens. Like, bro, if it don't happen soon enough, it ain't nothing happening. And then the whole like love you at the end, I'm like, she was just that little bit. Like I'm gonna hold on to that, but then he really was like, no, basically I'm saying, and I don't
like what works for you may not work for me.
Yes.
And she was saying all this really nice stuff, and he was just like, and yes, of course I want to stay married. You said nothing about her.
I was just confused. And then when Pastor Cal said, now go do what married people do, and he said, okay, and I'm like,
you ain't about to do that.
Let's see what the reunion.
In church, when people say go do what married people do, the only thing they're talking about is doing the do. And if you ain't doing the do, you ain't going to do what married people do. I
feel like it doesn't matter what they say from now on. They're just lying.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
I don't believe them. She would have to have a whole baby inside her.
I think she's going to be completely unhappy.
That is my fear.
I think she's going to find out after the cameras are gone that he prefers the other team and that she's a beard. You're not explaining to me how he never wanted to rub on her booty or her titties.
Oh no, but he was getting stuff.
Right. So why he ain't never get an urge to touch her?
Yeah, I just can't even imagine. I'm sorry. There ain't no way that you have the opportunity to.
I was going with the virgin thing for a long time.
Raw dog, okay? You don't take the chance.
I was going with the virgin thing for a long time. I'm now going to the fact that he might like men. And he's too religious to tell anybody.
I don't know.
I don't know how that heat and the energy and you come in and you never want to touch her.
Every time I think of Ryan, I think of them drawers in that kitchen. I think of kitchen. And that's him. That's him.
Them damn cabinets.
See them cabinets. He just closed up and it's just like stuff falling all out of it, and it's all in it's just we don't even know what's in there. Claire don't even know what's in there.
Yeah, but on the outside, his image looks just great. On the inside, he's toe up. Ain't no way you gonna have a wife and not. And like that, and she's everything, and she's this, and she's wonderful, and she's beautiful, and all this stuff, and you're not going to have sex with her?
No, okay.
Not even like we're not even talking about staying in love. We just talking about having sex at this point. Like
that's how Claire keeps talking about it though. She's like, I don't understand why we have to keep connecting the two. Like,
I mean, You're married, so at this point, like,
how come he had his shirt off for the whole entire introduction to the world, and that he wears his shirt never?
That's what
But she's never seen him without a shirt
off.
because he goes to gyms with men and takes his shirt off.
Shut up.
Come on, guys,
Gym
put
in
it
the
together.
backyard, doesn't he?
Put it together, guys.
I feel like
boy.
thing. Y'all good over there? Cause is y'all internet back?
Yeah, they back. Y'all can't see us though.
Um,
We can see y'all though.
yeah.
Can y'all hear us?
We're saying we're trying to talk. Nothing's happening, so we're just gonna sit here. We'll just sit here.
We can hear y'all.
We can hear you now.
We can hear you and see you.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go to the couple that we?
Oh, they froze
They
again.
froze again.
It hates us.
It does.
What is going on with their internet?
Whose phone? What are they on? Maybe they.
What are they on?
Somebody's phone versus like get on the network.
They might need to switch an apparatus.
Can they read the chat?
Yeah, they. I mean,
They might need to switch the apparatus. Okay. Nope.
are you on the phone or a computer, guys?
We're on the same computer.
Same
We're on every week in the same.
You said the same.
So try getting on your phone and using like your network.
In the same,
Try your phone.
in the same location.
In the same, so that's the same person.
Try your phone. Try your phone and use the network.
Because we got to talk about I want to use a metaphor, but I'm gonna keep it together. Reel it in. Our favorite dysfunctional couple.
While we waiting for them, Alicia, we know a lot of the same people.
I sent them a
We
message.
do? Oh.
Look at our mutual friends list. Everybody at CTAB, basically.
Oh, CTAB, yeah.
Not everybody, but a lot of people. Yeah,
I grew up there, yeah.
40 mutual friends. I don't know how many it is, but it's a lot of mutual friendships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she good people.
Yeah, I try to be.
I felt that without the mutual friends.
Yes, but it's like a confirmation, like, oh, you know these people, good people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like, okay. Yeah, I kind of
y'all see his
I
man?
on your page a little bit. I can't even lie.
It's all to the.
Y'all look better. Y'all look better.
Oh yeah, it's clear and everything.
Can y'all see us? Y'all look better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
She looking at this face.
Can y'all hear and see?
Please.
Hello. Oh, they can't hear us. Uh-oh.
Can y'all hear us?
Can y'all hear?
We can.
I can't tell if they freezing or being actors right now.
No, the picture is clear and everything.
Are we still gonna be on this one?
We can just turn this one off.
Yeah,
Because
it did
Y'all
get
look
clear
good.
though. I was going to say it looked way better.
yeah, it's not as foggy and
Yeah.
pixelated.
Pixelated.
On the computer.
You still on the computer?
Yeah.
Right now we are.
I think the internet start working better.
Maybe so.
See?
Anybody
Man.
hear what we're saying? I guess we're talking to ourselves right now.
Well, we're hearing you if you want to just divulge.
Yes. Do you want to talk about CP?
We can.
Or on the Kristen page?
Yeah.
Page.
Wait, who we missed?
They're the third couple.
We're going in order.
Virginia? Oh, they were
No,
next.
they were
That
after.
was a weird order. Why did they do that?
Because Chris and Paige took 6 hours
So they put it in the middle?
decision day.
You're
So
right.
they had to stop,
You're right.
go to the next day, which once
Right.
again showed us how they monopolize and takes over the whole entire situation. To if I was Brianna and Vincent and I had got my hair done and my makeup done and I'm ready, I'm anxious, I'm slaying, I'm ready to go, and these niggas over here taking 17 talking about we haven't made a decision yet. We can't come to a decision. Then Chris gonna throw up Mercedes having a miscarriage, gonna storm out like a little baby, and then I'd have sent Dr. Cow ass after him.
Thank you.
Not have went after him after all he didn't put me through. I'd have been sitting on that couch with my legs crossed, like whatever. She can go chase him down the street. Then when they get done talking, well, Chris, what do you want to do? Well, you still considering this ninja after it's all said and done. And then he says, are you cold? And then she's like, yes. And then you give her your jacket and you get back inside the building, not even outside the building. Right. And then you're going to speak for both of us. And then you confused on what to do. And now you want to have a breakdown in the panic attack page after you've been through all this. You 50% sure you don't know what you want to do. You didn't get a full shot. He's sorry. The things he was saying is what I want to hear from him my whole life. We need, you know what? I was bothered.
This is
off, okay? I love it. What else you got?
This is the pattern.
Say it.
And all of us have sat back and watched him continuously do this pattern with her.
Same behavior.
He does the same thing. And so whatever little piece of her heart of the things he needed to say to her, and she was like, I've been waiting to hear this. He knows that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Master manipulator.
And he pulls that little bit of hope out of her, and she's confused. She's going to be apologizing for this man for the rest of her life if she continues on in this relationship with him. It's always a, Chris, stop. Chris, stop. Oh, wait, Chris. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'll be right back. You want to be doing that shit for the rest of your life?
Let me tell you something.
I've done that before.
I've done it too. Okay.
Me too. I don't want to do it anymore.
How everybody was like, had that expression on their face when her ass sat there at the end, like, I almost said yes. And they was looking at her like, what the fuck?
Virginia blinked so much. She blinked so much. Her eyes almost.
Help me understand. What was bringing you to think that you were not sure about Chris?
But what she really wanted to say.
Chris has so many admirable qualities.
That ugly by leaving you on the airplane, by not moving into the house with you, by buying his baby mama
in the brand
new car.
I just love that they always bring her back to, wasn't there an issue before this baby? Yes,
right.
Because there was.
Chris is well groomed. Chris is a well-groomed man. Is that all you want, sis? Yeah. Is a well-groomed man?
On the outside, because ain't nothing happening.
He's a complete asshole. Like,
he actually isn't that well-groomed. The only thing I appreciated was a new checkerboard suit. That's the only thing I appreciate, because the old one was annoying me.
Chris actually crying. Was he actually crying, or was he just
not a tear?
He just like body crying? Like,
not a tear was dropped.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
His hand was like this the whole time.
I didn't see a tear. I didn't see any moisture coming from his eyeball.
It was no moisture.
No moisture.
It's probably dry.
I was like, you know what? If they stay together, whatever. I don't care. Move on. Like, why are we even here? Like, why? I'm ready for you to be off my TV. Like, I'm tired of you.
It's her weird nervous grin when she's like really kind of like, is he serious right now? But it's like she's grinning, and I hate it. And I'll be like,
because she wants it.
I know.
Paige's issue is she does not trust herself. She does not trust herself, and so she
literally said she had to catch herself.
She
did
put her ownership on her decisions for God to make these decisions for her, and she thinks just because now all of a sudden we at this couch and Chris is saying the things I've been waiting him to say for these last 8 weeks. Now it's God creating another opportunity for us to be together. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
God didn't create the first one. That was you. Keep saying God put us here. You signed up for this, honey. It's like applying for a job.
Yeah, God didn't put you here.
It really makes me wonder, like, what. So there was a conversation that came up a while ago with a friend of mine, or something I was watching. I think it was actually a Law and Order SVU episode, and the woman on there said because she had been traumatized, raped, molested, whatever case was, when she was a child, she hasn't trusted her own judgments.
I saw that episode.
And it really made me think personally, and just even my people I know, and even Paige, is like things that have happened to us at whatever age may cause us to doubt ourselves, to doubt our own thought process, to doubt our gut reaction because we weren't protected or we made the wrong decision at one point that caused us to be unprotected. And now we doubt our decision making all the way through every single thing. Even though Paige gets on my nerves, I still see pieces of myself in Paige. I think we all pieces of who we once were, who we are in small aspects or in huge aspects. And it's like looking at that as like
we're just yelling at the screen. That's all.
Yeah, we're like looking in the mirror, like that could be me. Because I know personally, like I would want, I feel like I show up for men in a certain type of way that I be wanting it back. And so sometimes I'm learning that I like give it all, give it out there because I want to like teach you like how to give it back to me.
Right.
So it's like that could be like a pain situation. Like you're waiting for somebody to say something to you, you've waited for so long, and then you hear it, and it's like, oh, and then you just want to latch onto it. And so you struggle between like what's authentic and what you're worth and what you should have and what means something versus somebody just busting your head off, somebody just fluffing you up. It was unfortunate to kind of that she went in there feeling very confident about what she's gonna do. And the little thing he said, like, you're the woman I needed, you're the woman this, it just made her whole heart sink.
Yeah.
And it shows like how much there's brokenness inside of us all. About how
that's crazy because I've let back in so many men that have done stuff like in past times, came back in with a little apology.
A little oil. They come with a little oil. They put a little oil on your forehead.
Right.
Well, Ashley right there. Well, that does feel kind of nice.
And then you're like, oh no, I'm back in the same cycle.
I'm back. And they know because it's worked before too. So like the thing about it is like Chris has done this to her so many times. So many times. So
and that's why the doctors were like, this is too much. We can't. This is not.
Because if they hadn't got to the 8 weeks and then they got to the decision day, he wouldn't have tried to say anything. If those 4 first weeks, because when she said the last 4 weeks, I said they did this dog and pony show for 4 weeks. They went back and forth like that for 4 weeks.
And I think that Pastor Kyle said what he said to Chris on the side because he was just like, Paige ain't strong enough to do this herself.
No, but I agree with you. Like, I feel like when Pastor Kyle was like, go, and I'm like, why are you sending her? Like, you know how fragile she is. Like, you go.
She had already made the decision. He's like, oh, you're going? Okay.
Yeah.
And they're sitting here like, we're the mental health professionals, and we're not going to rescue this man who's grieving his child.
But it's not even the rescuing. It's the consoling. Okay. You got to go back in and make this decision because we got to continue filming. Like, Pastor Cal was the only one who could actually say anything to him. And I still don't think he was necessarily listening to him. But I think there was a level of respect there that he wasn't just going to like say whatever. But when Dr. Viviana was like, no, you're going to have to make a decision. I was like, there's Chris right there. When he came out with the hands.
He was like,
I was like,
you can't make me make a decision.
I
said, now where is
weird. And then as soon as Paige came back, from her come to Jesus moment, she said, I'm done. He looked stuck. He wasn't, I thought we were undecided. I thought we had made a decision for both of us. And she looked stuck. He looked stuck.
It was great. That whole back and forth 6-hour situation, we don't know what the fuck we want to do, would not have happened if Mercedes was still pregnant.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right.
He had an inkling that if she was pregnant, they can get back together.
She had a miscarriage.
Jen, that was her come to Jesus moment, though. She said it. She was like, because Pastor Cal like led her to it, and she was like, yeah, right. If she was still pregnant, we would be having this conversation, right, Paige?
Reason why he was trying to cry.
That was so good.
He's a manipulator, and he knows how to manipulate her, and he knows that she is going to support him and be there to comfort him and care how he feels and what he has to say. Absolutely. She's the only person that will do that for him.
Yep.
So if she was still pregnant, he would have came right in there and be like, I want a divorce. It wasn't like I took Paige for granted. She's the woman that ultimately the woman I need. But for me, he's saying, oh yeah, it's the woman I need, but you don't want her though.
Right.
And I knew before he said that he was lonely that was the whole thing. Like, you lost Mercedes ain't pregnant. Now you lost what chance you thought you were going to get.
Is you going to get your Mercedes back though?
Now you don't have nothing. And now you going back to Paige because you don't have nothing. And everybody looks at you as a fool. So now you're trying to just...
But whose name is on the car is what I want to know.
Because he broke, ain't he? Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, do you get the car back because there's no baby?
Right. So now you gave her a brand new BMW.
I think Paige should get the car.
He got a Mercedes for Mercedes, right?
I think Paige should get the Mercedes.
On the reunion, him and Paige went to counsel.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, what?
Before we see Chris again with his pattern, cussing out someone, running out, and Paige, Chris, I'm sorry.
Then tells the black man to meet him in the parking lot.
Because the host of the reunion show, he doesn't have any
Oh, he's not a professional. He's a host.
He doesn't have a room for anything. He's not like
he goes on
coming from Pastor Cal who says, well, Paige isn't upset with him, so I won't be upset with him. He's not coming from that space.
It's classic, but it's like we've all been with somebody who I don't know about all, but I know I have and she has been with someone that we had to make excuses for.
Yeah.
And that shit gets tiring when you're like, guys, you just caught him on a bad day. Guys,
oh God.
He just was tired today. We didn't, today's just not a good day for us. Guys, I've done that. That shit is whack. It's whack.
Whack.
Too old for that.
Too old.
And it's unfortunate to like look at this and see like this is the pattern in which a lot of us live right now. A lot of women live in this space just because of companionship.
Yep.
Because we want the company and the companionship and the whatever pieces of love we can get from somebody.
We also low key always like naturally just like protect them because we always protect them from the outside world anyway. So and like always like a whole thing.
And then speaking of that, he made a comment in the beginning part talking about Paige didn't protect his feelings.
I heard that. I said,
Paige didn't do what?
She didn't do that.
I might have to go watch that again.
Yeah, oh yeah, they were like they wrote like letters or made a statement or something, and each couple had the statement right before they came into the room for decision day. If you listen to everything, it was the most disgusting, like the portrayal of what he. I mean, it's exactly what I thought he was saying.
Mm-hmm. But he said like he talked about her being erratic and her behavior and how she was. I'm like, so
she tapped out.
How would you want her to respond to you? First of all, she was very nice to you, but how would you want her to respond to these situations that you have put her in? How would you want her to buy you a Mercedes? Is that what you would have liked her to do? I'm confused. I don't know.
Her protecting your feelings. You didn't call her ugly. You slept with her.
Yeah.
First of all,
twice.
They're ugly.
No. Then you had a panic attack, and you went downstairs, went to pick up breakfast, and never came back with a menu. So I'm hungry now, and I'm ugly, and we didn't have sex twice with somebody you think is ugly. Okay, now you didn't found out that you got a whole secret you don't want to tell me about. So it's literally not even 24 hours into this, which is famous for blaming and everybody. Yes. So it's like. So from not even 24 hours in, okay, not even 20 minutes into your wedding, you're telling my bridesmaids that she's not my type. So when did Paige need to protect your feelings?
Right.
You have not protected her, man of God.
She even offered to be the bonus mom to your brand new baby.
She did.
To your embryo.
Right. Offered herself up.
Right. Embryo.
She's like
like a baby, like just I mean, come on now.
First of all, I have to say he
How
is
does she
not a man of
protect you?
God.
She's been protecting you this whole entire
Not a
time
man of God at all.
on the bus.
Way whatsoever.
Chris, everybody, he's going to apologize. I was praying. Then he comes to the whole little last minute thing. Hell, and everybody looking stuck in the face like, yes, because you don't know them. You've been a part of the process. You have been gone.
Now you're gonna come in and apologize to everybody.
And then you don't know nothing. Then you want to apologize in the page like, I was praying for you this whole time. Was praying you would. Why are you praying for him? Pray for him from a distance, sis.
Pray for yourself. Pray for yourself.
Yes, thank you. Don't pray for him. Pray for yourself.
That you get some confidence in your ability to make decisions regarding your heart, ma'am. Please.
It was literally like,
where is Paige's family?
I'm like, when they replayed her going down the aisle, I was like, yes, there were two daddies. Where are they at? Did they show when? Okay, where?
Where are your daddies?
Where
is your daddy? Your daddies, your cousins, your brother. Somebody should have whipped Chris's ass already.
They show her brother.
Somebody should have rolled up on him.
I don't think my family could have made this show.
Oh, no,
my family wouldn't have made it.
My family and my extended family not going down.
Sometimes your ex-boyfriends will be like, sis.
Yeah.
Sis, they will. No, yo.
They will.
We got ex-boyfriends they'll show up for us. They be like, he did what? You don't do what?
I still got love for you. Yeah, we're not together, but ain't nobody gonna do you like that. Yeah, yes.
I had a whole dude the other day was like, don't talk to that person. What is that?
Stop it. Stop.
Oh my God. I wanna purchase those.
Those are interesting.
I want to purchase those for my next boo.
Right. But yeah, it's just, this is all just like, I mean, I
don't know.
It's just.
It was too much. It was so much that they had to put the same clothes on the next day so they could look like
another outfit. They had to wear the same soiled clothes.
Yep.
Oh my God.
When they did the whole previews, they had to look like, because I said, babe, why didn't they change clothes? He was like, because the tape. I said, we all know it's the next morning. He was like, but when they're taping, we weren't going to know that it took the whole night. But they literally got the same exact hairstyles, makeup, clothes.
They had to do it. Vincent had to put the cheesecake back in the freezer.
Girl, it was too much.
It was
too much. I had a plan and everything.
I'm sorry, guys. We were in there for 6 hours. I was like, what?
6 hours? Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, 6 hours. And I'm thinking from a production side, I'm like, yo, production was pissed.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo.
That's why that girl said, what was your decision before you came here? Because I don't have time for this. What was your decision?
Oh, she was mad, y'all. They had her sitting in that chair for like 6 hours. It's like,
yeah, she's like, what were you gonna do?
She had to be talking to the producers for about 2 hours.
She was like, no.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Chris, take her mic off. Take her mic, nigga. You always want to take somebody's mic off.
Now you want to talk. Now you want to talk for Paige.
You always want a mic off
for Paige.
Take her mic off. Take her mic off.
No. Who are you? You don't even belong here.
You only don't
even belong here.
You only want to protect her.
You're not even a cast member anymore, sir. You're not a cast member.
As they call Mean Girls.
You're gonna protect her when you hear the two. When you hear Clara and Vic and Veronica.
Did you hear Virginia? The Virginia when they was in the little outside joke, and then she was like, "So just let me. I just want to understand."
Yeah.
Virginia be about that work, dog. Virginia be about like, no.
She wanted to be like, what's wrong with you? That's what she wanted to say. Like,
they all did.
Is something wrong with you?
Brianna too.
Claire was just like this.
I was waiting.
Brianna already knows she's a dumb jump. Like Brianna knows she's dumb.
She was smiling like
she like, we're black. We know you're dumb. Like, you're dumb. We know that. We're clear.
Even Vincent, when he came walking in, was like,
oh God, dumb Joe. He's like, she's dumb.
Bro, why are you even here, bro?
I'm sorry, but I was distracted by. Okay,
Vincent does not like him.
Your pants up to your thighs. These are below.
Come on, Chris's pants.
Yes, you got.
He had holes in his pants. I wasn't trying to pay attention to him. What happened?
Why?
It was like
Rewind
overly
that.
trendy
He got
and
holes in his thighs.
they were high up.
Your holes don't go past your knees, brother.
Like that. He always wears
And,
those high feet.
and they were completely skinny at the full ankles. And he had a patent leather loafer on.
He always has his
long.
ankles exposed.
Ugh, I can't stand the ankles. Please put some
He be
socks
having hot
on.
flashes on his ankles.
Sir,
Yeah,
we
he's
are
like
not going
Wolverine.
on a yacht, okay? You don't live on a boat. Stop
like-
it. I hate it.
Yeah, I don't like his.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like his
Okay,
logo.
so I
I like
follow
his
him on
swag.
his page, and I went to his Instagram page because I had to follow the foolishness. And he like on his story today say something like for her, and I'm like, ooh, this better not be. Well, who? First of all,
Who's her?
who is her? But it better
Who is
not be
her,
her.
and how do we save her?
Yeah.
Like, who is her?
Oh, if we find out, I'm like, girl, did you watch Married at First Sight? You should.
You should.
I'm gonna give you my account password to my DirecTV and my DVR. Watch the whole season.
Watch all of it.
Watch the whole season, honey. It's on. It's actually on Lifetime. But go ahead.
It's like communion. It's like communion. Take all of it.
This one
Watch
on me.
this. And
Yeah.
please rewind it if you need to.
There's no way he's gonna be able to date after this show.
He got a bag saying for her, and I'm like,
How do you date after acting like this on television?
because there are other women who are just as insecure as Paige, and they like
Or
they
They be
Paige.
like, he wouldn't do me like that.
They believe the story he's telling.
or there's somebody else that is insecure and that kind of domineering.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even saying insecure. There's some people that personality trait just works for.
Mm-hmm.
It's where they are in life, because I don't want to discount any woman for being where they are and honoring who they are. And that type of atmosphere just works.
They might be a
They will
narcissist.
submit. They don't ask no questions. They just go. He leaves. If she's pissed off, she's long suffering. She don't say nothing with it. I mean,
I know you're right.
I don't want to down. Like, I don't want
He
to.
just doesn't deserve to be around a human.
I'm sorry. I
You
just
need some consistent therapy to really heal whatever's been going on with.
He's gonna leave a trail of
somebody is
everybody.
that toxic. It's just
You shouldn't be with nobody. You got to get it fixed. Go fix
person
yourself.
that's them. It's for me. There's
Get help, please.
missing. If you can't, if you're okay with being with somebody that toxic, I can't say that you're whole either, because
And I think that's the stress I saw in the doctors too. Like that day, it was like they were terrified for her to like accumulate anymore.
Right.
They were like, "This is not normal, y'all. And she's not going to fight herself."
Dr. Viviana was like, Paige, you're doing what I see you doing is da 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 da.
Yeah,
And
she-
she had to say something.
yeah,
She has to.
She called her out the whole time.
The doctors, like Dr. Viviana, had to almost redeem herself.
Mhm.
Never say, because they all were looking like they all were sitting back.
But
Like,
did you see her look at the doctors every time? She would be like, "So y'all not okay? I'm gonna say something. We not. I'm gonna say something."
They was looking at each other
Right.
like,
yes, they were.
The first when he started on his campaign, his forgiveness campaign.
forgiveness campaign.
When he
weren't fighting.
started, they all looked at each other like, "So this is what we about to do."
Yep.
Oh,
They were like,
okay.
here we go.
You serving Kool-Aid with arsenic? That's what you're doing? Oh, okay.
it was like this. Paige was like,
Oh my god, I hated
Oh,
it.
it's the smile. It was the
I just got so mad just now thinking
It was
about
that
it.
one line. You were the best thing I never
And
treasured.
Pastor Cal just
cared."
be
And
like,
she was just like, "Take
Pastor
me
Cal
now."
be so over him, yo.
He
Like,
no.
understands.
Hey,
She was,
now
she
you
was
really
literally
think
thinking
it's
it's clicked for him. Like it's finally clicked for him. We can move on. Because I didn't even understand when she said that the baby was the only thing. I said,
I
how?
said, what?
How do you ignore the
What?
treatment? Anybody can have a baby with somebody. That don't mean they
His
gonna
behavior.
there's I mean, because there could have been somebody that it could have been somebody else, and they could have got a girl pregnant. You know, just a one night. Look, I had one more night before I came. Whatever.
It's
whatever.
the way he
It's the
behaved.
way he behaved towards her and everybody. He's the most childish.
He came in late all the time. Like, made the experts just sit around waiting for him.
Like,
Like,
you
he
don't remember,
has no respect for other people.
You don't remember when, like, he told you that you were so ugly, he had a panic attack, and then you went to go talk to his parents, and then he cussed you out about talking to his parents about, you don't remember that? That was all before.
That's how Dr. Viviana was looking at her like, so you just, Pastor Cal was like, so.
He tried so hard.
I'm sorry. There was something before the baby.
Yeah. After he slept with you twice, then told you was ugly. Then,
got mad at you for going to the people who created you to figure
you
out.
You have left her every time.
I don't know what's happening here.
He's never been given a space to cry. He always takes the space to cry.
Yeah.
He takes her space every time to cry.
Every single time.
You won an award for having a panic attack because you were ugly. That's
really what he said.
Oh my God. It is what he said, though.
That's exactly what he said.
I said it once and I'll say it again. You got one time.
Yeah.
You got one time to look me in my face,
Jennifer,
in my eyes,
in your
face, hey, you're ugly, and I'm gonna be like, I'm out. I'm out.
I can't say that.
I'm out. Okay, I'm out of here. You're not gonna look me in my face twice. Call me ugly, have sex with me, have a panic attack, and then I'm gonna go through this whole process with you. I'm not gonna do it.
Which now makes
gonna do it. You gonna sit up here and tell me that your ex-fiance is now pregnant with your child, and not just that, then you're gonna buy her a vehicle, a 2021 vehicular to whatever the hell it was. You're gonna do that and then ask me to my face. How do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I don't feel great about it.
You're gonna continually not cover me and try me every single time. He may not have ever put his hands on her, but he has touched her face several times.
Smacked her.
He has spit on her.
Abuse.
He has abused her.
Her having that, like, oh, this is too much, I can't take it anymore. She needed to have that breakdown.
Yeah,
she needed to have that because it was too much. All this is building up. He's continuously trying to be there for him, go through the process because she wants it so bad. Like, no.
Alicia, what was you gonna say? You had your finger up.
No, I'm saying, and while you're getting the Mercedes, you're telling me that you bought her a Mercedes. You planned for us to have a Bible study that you did not prepare for over a chicken dinner in styrofoam.
But he didn't even know how to pray. He didn't even know how to lead the prayer.
Yeah,
because his grandma been praying for him this whole time.
Because he ain't even. First of all, you quit preaching because it didn't make enough money. Duh. Like most preachers don't make money. What you're seeing are mega church preachers. They make money. But you see all the churches in Wyoming, you think they making money? No. I'm just
Mama Rhonda said, and here it is, my PSA.
She cannot.
Beyond page having an underdeveloped.
She does. She doesn't know who she is.
Not ready for this process. Round of therapy and payment for
and a Mercedes.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. Now, I agree that Married at First Sight owes her therapy for life.
Never moved in with.
Oh my God! He was like, I should have moved that.
I'll move in alone. Yeah, everything was wrong. He was like, I regret, and he told me I felt like I was a fool. I was trying to protect myself.
You were.
I felt like people that nobody liked me. It's like
nobody does.
Like once again, back to the fact. Yeah, it's like this whole thing was trash.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all need therapy from watching the show.
Yes.
Hello.
That's what makes me feel.
I was so triggered.
They need to send people on more of a process.
Koya is eating now because
more of a process.
Right, I'm stress eating.
Prepared. You need to be looking at these couples and be like, you'll be a great potential wife. But here are the things you need to do. And the next 8 weeks, we're gonna follow you while you learn how to do X, Y, and Z. While you do X, Y, and Z, and then you'll meet your husband as somewhat of a more healthy, whole, healed individual. I would, as a human, I would want to watch somebody go from this point to this point and be better and be suited versus watching fucking drama just erupt. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Or I'll like notice that, like, hey, Jick and Haley, this shit's not gonna work, but y'all got therapy out the game. Or y'all get Paige and Chris 2 days in, this shit don't work. Guess what? We got another Chris in the background. He's coming to be your new husband, Paige, because this nigga ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whatever. I want to see people win. This whole dramatic situation of watching a black woman on here just like self-sacrifice herself for like no reason, just for what she thinks is supposed to be love, that was horrible to watch.
It was.
You know what? It was horrible to watch, but in this moment with you saying it, I'm kind of glad it was on TV. Because if I would have saw something like that by accident or upon chance in my early 20s, I probably wouldn't have done some of the things I did because I would have been so disgusted by the vision of this that I would have been like, this looks familiar. Like, I really have to think about it. Like, we don't show enough of that. That exists. I was that girl for at least.
We all were that girl. I be that girl sometimes, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So, like,
I always have moments. I have moments.
Like, oh God, how to get out of this situation? But I don't want to.
Yeah.
But also the flip side of that is
playing helpless. Like, God, please help me.
The religious part attached to it. Like, I'm almost glad she had that part attached to it so unhealthily because people need to see that is not what God wants for you.
Bingo.
Ooh,
Bingo.
Pastor Cal should have said that at some point.
Because what he Dominion.
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. It was a reckless way to show this. I just realized that's why production showed it. It was a reckless way to do it because, like, they're gonna actually have trauma after this show.
Oh yeah.
But
sure,
there's a reason they showed it.
Yeah. I just don't like the way they're matching. Go ahead.
Even Dr. Pepper was like, I feel tossed and thrown all up. She's like, I feel like I just been on a roller coaster ride. I didn't hear the 6 hours part. Now it makes even much more sense why she feels just so like.
Oh God, it makes so. I almost want to watch it again, knowing when I found out the 6 hours, it was like, oh, I need to watch that again.
They've been doing bad at matching because even the unmatchables matches haven't even been good. And I'm like, what's going on?
And I don't really think that's their premise though. They're picking the most extreme cases to make good TV, but they're teaching them dating techniques. I don't think they care about them connecting. It's just dating techniques.
They don't want to do no work. They don't want to get messed up.
Yeah, I think they're actually just shocked if any of those work out. Like they're like, oh, well. They didn't. They actually think most of them are gonna fail. They don't.
That's gonna be more works.
That's horrible.
And then if he's like,
but those people are extreme. Like
very
right.
The legend dude was walking around with his alter ego.
Yeah, baby.
That was really
bad. I was like, he needs therapy, y'all. Like,
he protected himself from the grief. Yes,
like he has a slight personality disorder, bro. Like,
right.
He's just in control of it.
Go back in the spiritual. Dominique, that's right.
Dr. Viviana was like, no.
Oh yeah, that was the worst manipulation.
It
was super. He showed his character.
He definitely could have called her. He was like, I wanted to tell you this. I wanted to call you. Why didn't you?
Why didn't you?
You wait
like this.
And then Paige
is gonna tell that girl's business on TV.
Paige is like, oh, I don't want to tell what he said to me.
I don't want to say those words out of my mouth. I want to tell
story to tell. But he told it on national television. Right. So
so you have the right to say it.
Why can't you now say why can't disrespect that he has given you?
You are aware that you're sitting in front of cameras right now, and this is going to air at the same time, like after he's already told you.
Yeah.
So you can actually.
That's her protecting.
Yo, that was so funny.
That's her protecting.
It's the can't for me.
Why can't?
No, but Paige.
Why can't?
No, but Paige never protected his feelings though. He never did.
He doesn't have feelings.
She didn't protect his ankles. Okay, that's what needs protecting.
I'm like, Paige has been
on top of his thighs.
Paige is working a job of protecting your feelings with no wages, no benefits. She don't get nothing. She's been protecting your feelings, and then you gonna have the nerve to say she ain't protecting your feelings.
You don't know what protection is.
I would have punched him in his face. I would have punched him in his face.
She
I was
been
like,
the
did
fence.
Paige hear these
Paige
words?
the offense for Chris.
Did Paige hear these words?
I'm just
Like, did she hear this? Yo, can y'all imagine being Paige and like literally watching these episodes?
No. I was feeling
Like
bad
the
for her
stuff
during
he
the
said-
unfiltered because she was just
The stuff he says away from her.
Jesus, to see herself.
Yes.
Like,
The worst episode was when she saw her bridesmaids like hear his. And she was
Yo,
like,
she had to hear him
tell you that, and
say-
she was like, "No, they didn't tell me
He had
that."
to hear the conversation with Pastor Kyle when he was like, "There are so many beautiful, different types of women in the world." Like,
We forgetting
it's
they
like
got
listening now.
Yes, he said so many beautiful.
queens, Asian queens,
The
Mexican
Spanish
queens.
He went through all the ethnic groups.
Are we putting queens on the end? That's what we
Hey.
doing?
You don't have no income.
Right. But it's,
Come on, Miranda. We got $2. These $2.
Let's move on because
yeah, let's
making me itch.
Erica and
Who was the next couple, guys?
Erica and
Virginia.
Virginia. Erica and Virginia.
Speak of manipulation.
Did you say Erica?
I did.
Erica and Virginia.
I almost closed my computer.
Erica and Virginia. No. So we were on. So after coming out of Jeff, what they're gonna do? We were on the fence because I was really feeling like Virginia could go either way at this point.
Yeah.
She could really go either way. I think she is trying to give it a shot. I think they genuinely care about one another. I think what Erica said was right. Is that
Erica.
I meant Erica now. What Erica said was right. Is that they have a love for each other. There's
Okay.
mutual love, and I think that she really wants to, I think something in her wants this to work. But I also think she's leveled out a little bit. But I do think that she definitely has her mind. Like her mind is sound. Like she made that comment at the end to Paige, like, what did you see? Like, what made you read? How were you on the fence? Like talking through things, but I definitely was kind of surprised
in the mirror.
that she wanted to stay married. I thought she might say no.
He
But I
totally
think
manipulated her.
I think that when he got on the knee with
Manipulation.
that little plastic pink rubber ring,
Didn't even allow her to say what he.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, did she
Allow her
even
to make her decision.
did she say anything?
Yeah.
she said,
Didn't even allow her to make her
saying,
decision.
I want to stay married to you.
That's
That's all she
manipulation.
did.
But she didn't get to say. You're right. She didn't say.
She didn't even
Get to say
get to say.
anything. It was
She
his whole
didn't get to
speech.
do the whole speech thing
Nope.
that everybody, they kind of went back and forth. Everybody was
It
like,
was cut very
Oh,
short.
it was
He said,
totally
I got something. The
interrupted.
knee. Here's this little
Yep.
ring thingy.
Yep.
I just feel like Virginia is.
I think she's scared, y'all. I
She
don't
trying
know.
to resolve her relationship with her father through Eric,
Mhm.
and that's what's popping off. Right, that's how I feel.
Because I feel like when he got on the knee, I feel like that was a form of manipulation because
like,
he
wait a second.
actually give her the chance to kind of talk it through. Because sometimes when they're talking that last part through, they're still making that decision. Like they're still like
She
you
didn't
know,
seem that
talking.
sure.
She didn't have a chance, and I was like, oh, that's manipulation. Like he didn't want her to have a chance to kind of think it through.
He was
He had
scared.
planned this the whole time. Because, I mean, you saw the phone call that he said he asked. It looked like that same phone call he had way
The
back.
first one.
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
I
And
think
I'm
it
like,
was
he's
too.
been planning to kind of manipulate her, through this process the whole time. Because usually they wait to see what the other person says. And then once they know, then they propose. Like, we'll get to them like Vince did. But other couples have done the same thing after they've gotten the decision. He made that decision for her. I feel like she didn't feel like she had a chance to say no because it would have been a huge embarrassment. He put her in a predicament.
And the stuff he said, I was just like, oh, you want to stay with her? I was like, oh. Like, it was just like, I don't know. He's so creepy.
He started off really bad.
I feel like there's nothing wrong with with maybe being on the fence
Mm-hmm.
and saying yes, I'll stay married to see see what happens after the cameras go away.
Yeah.
That with several with the other couples. I feel like, you know, even with Ryan and Claire, I feel like when the cameras go away, it's like what's his name? And Karen, things change, things lighten up. I don't know what kind of tension that feels like to be on camera, be recorded, and have somebody else kind of the way the world takes you in. You know, the way, you know, what is viewed, what they show, all these. I mean, they showed 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes of Paige and Chris's antics, but it was 6 hours.
That's right.
I would love to see
what happened for 6 hours.
Edited, like really.
Yeah, like edited.
I mean, like even expressions are edited.
Like I would love to see that 6 hours.
The music comes in to give you a sense of how they want you to feel about the situation.
Right.
Like,
we don't know if that expression is a special.
I mean, sometimes the music doesn't match what they're saying. I'm like, he's saying this, and the music is what wants you to be skeptical, and I'm like, the music and the words don't match. But they're telling you how they want you to feel about what they're saying, which is which is the editing process. Which is why I'd be like, kind of taking these interactions in with a grain of salt, because I'm like, but what if he actually didn't respond like that, or what if she wasn't actually like that, or what? Because they're cutting and pasting. If we don't,
I don't know, Virginia. I just feel nervous for her because he's just so.
I agree.
He's so like quietly aggressive. Like it freaks me out. Like I'd be like, oh, how do you say no to that energy? Like that energy is a little nerve-wracking. Like I really don't know if she knows she can say no for everything for real. Like she says no about the stuff she knows she can say no about.
Well, right, but also Virginia also was very immature. Some things like I'm not moving into your apartment because my cat can't walk up and down steps. I sleep in the bed with my cats. Where else they gonna sleep? They sleep right here. They sleep
like
right
he
here.
has allergies.
Like, you're not ready for a marriage.
Not at all.
You're married. Like there's some things you might have to put to bed, and the cat sleeping on both your breasts is one of them.
He's like, I'm not her person. I'm not her person. So she didn't respond to any of that. Oh
no, she didn't have a chance.
I just realized that.
Yeah. I'm with you though. I think it is okay for them to say yes to see how it goes.
Absolutely. Not Chris and Paige.
This is the thing. Even if they say they want a divorce, they still gotta go through the process anyway.
Facts.
It's not like they're divorced that day.
Oh no, it's real. It's real. It's a real divorce.
It's a real divorce. You got to go through the process anyway. So you should have, if you want to take that extra time after the cameras are gone to see what's going on. I think that's a valid point.
Jen, do you think that Virginia's gonna make it in life out here? Because you have a lot of we have similar theories about Eric.
What do you mean? Okay, they didn't.
Like, you think she's gonna live through this? To tell us,
like physically live?
When you say live, like, do we think that you're trying to? What are you asking?
Physical or
I think that she was hesitant. Like there was a hesitancy, and I could see like in her eyes she was kind of like unsure.
I guess we're gonna do this.
And she didn't answer any of what he said. There was not a response, unless she did respond and they just cut that part out. Because it was very quick.
I don't know, it was quick.
I'm
not sure if it was wrong.
Their part was very quick to me.
Because he kind of led his last sentence into like, well, I'm gonna, like, it kind of went into that.
Yeah, but when he was like, I'm not her person, and I know I'm not, that bothered me. That really bothered me.
And she should have had time to be able to speak her piece.
Yeah, but
the therapist, all of them should have let her, but they are fooled by them too. They like that.
The fact that he is so, I get it, they're married, this is a real marriage, but he's too pushy.
He's controlling
that. And I don't like that. And he's like, I want to be your person. You have friends, and I don't want you to have friends. That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Even if her stuff is extreme, that's what I hear. Right.
It's like, I want to be her number one. It's like, okay, y'all married, but y'all
don't know her
for 2 months. You don't know her. So you expect her to drop all her friends who are essentially her family for you, brand new husband. Like,
It's like, to me, it's like
Jake and Haley knew more about each other than the two of y'all.
I believe they're just
right.
They know.
They're
They
both
know.
too extreme.
They know that they like to have sex with each other. I think that's
Right.
that's a part of it.
But I
That's
think they're
real.
extreme because I think she's like so adamant about like being with her friends and spending the night over their house and going out with them. So then he's like on the extreme, like, I need to be your number one. I need to do this. And instead of there being kind of like a middle ground where they meet, where he's like, look, you can have your friends, you can go out whenever. I just want to know that I'm your husband and I'm in a secure place. And she needs to compromise. You cannot be. I'm sorry, as a married woman, no, you don't get to go over your friend's house to spend the night while I'm out of town on a drunken night. You got girlfriends? You got a daddy? Go there. And that's not insecurity. That's just disrespect.
He definitely needs to compromise. Some of the things that Virginia said, I was like, okay, but you still are married to this, and you signed up for this, so you can't. That's not gonna work.
Yeah,
I mean, and then flip everything she says and be him, be a man, and say everything she says. And he's like, I'm not getting rid of my female friend. I'm gonna spend the night over her house when I'm drunk. When you going off on your flight attendant trips instead of flying.
It just aren't the most compromising people.
It would just be a little bad, but he's extreme and controlling to me too, though. I'm not to say that.
No, I just
her. They just are both extreme to me.
To me, it's just like, I feel like when you in situations like this, you kind of have to just relax and let it take its course, because if that is what's supposed to be, then your role in somebody's life will present itself. It will become like, it's like Brianna said, like, I can't imagine my life without you at this moment.
Yeah.
Because they've cultivated something, if you will. They've worked on something to the point where it's like, yeah, I really want you around. You know what I'm saying? But I think just
that's why I liked what Clara said.
But it's like
I really enjoyed what she said, because I feel like that was the most realistic reason to stay married in a situation like that. I just didn't feel like he gave her anything. Like,
right.
Anything.
It's just like people, it's like you have to, in friendships and relationships, you may want to be somebody's person, you may want to be somebody's friend. To a certain extent, you have to just let nature take its course. If you are doing the things to be a good husband and to be a friend, at some point it should show. Where she's like, I just want to be with my husband right now, or whatever. And if it doesn't, then you have to figure out how to do it. Now, because this process has escalated to like first, they didn't get an opportunity to kind of build that where it's like you want to be around somebody. But I just, that whole demanding, want to be her person, you can want to be, but it's like, give her space to let that happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the timing. That is something that naturally happens, but I do agree with when you talk about this accelerated process. I think we see people like Brianna working, even Miles and Karen only worked because of the extra 4 weeks that they had to be in only with each other. And I think that's a part of this process is being with each other, at least in this time, because you get to learn each other, because you get to grow into something. Because it's so accelerated, you do have to kind of put all of you and all of just being with that person into these 8 weeks, because they're telling you only have 8 weeks to decide if you want to stay or go forward, stay or move on, even though you can always stay and decide to, continue. But I think the accelerated process is the thing that's kind of making this a little bit more like, I don't know, uncomfortable, I guess, and making it seem like, because that, like you said, it naturally happens. But if you're naturally dating somebody, like, first of all, generally you date people you're attracted to. That attraction grows. You want to spend more time with them. You spend time with them. Then you go to work. You're not living with them. Then, so these opportunities, you want to be with them because you're not with them all the time. When in this process, you're with them all the time. So she's kind of like, I'm with you all the time. Let me go be with my friends. But I don't think she was ready for this process. I think he's really controlling, and I think that she
just wanted a dedicated boyfriend.
And I think her age at this point is playing a role, and her immaturity and being able to actually realize that this is not what she really wants, and to be able to stand up and say, like, I think I like Paige. I think I like the idea of what this is, but him specifically, I don't think is the one. I think she likes the fact that he's all into her. I think she likes that because he's all about her.
Maybe
he's head over heels for her. She loves that.
Maybe it's almost like a situation where he got the money and the lifestyle she may want.
I thought about that too.
She
stable.
The hangar, he got the plane, he got the houses, he got the
She ain't giving up enough to get the benefits of that. Like she ain't even trying to stay in the house with her. Like
because a good house
is playing that card right.
But she can get what she wants.
Yeah.
So it maybe it's not that house. He wants another house. He's like, I'm giving whatever.
He do got money. We don't really talk about that because he's so scary.
He's established. He's very well off. And he's willing to, and I don't think he wants another divorce. So he's willing to deal with whatever.
Knows that.
Yeah.
He's controlling this.
No. It's covered by standard men things, but it is controlled.
I disagree.
That's interesting. So, Jen, why don't you think that's it? I mean, it's an interesting thought. So, why don't you think he's controlling?
Jen, that looks normal.
I mean,
it's like toxic masculinity, but that's what more of us are used to than healthy masculinity.
And I don't disagree with everything he says because
no, not the structure.
Like he's as a husband.
I don't disagree with the
structure. These are the things that happen like in marriages. Like
I don't disagree with the structure.
Like there's just certain boundaries.
He's using the structure to control.
But I think he has some controlling. I think he has manipulative and control. Manipulation and control they work hand in hand. So like when he got down on the knee and went ahead and proposed to her without allowing her to speak, that's a way of controlling the situation.
Or he's always making everything about the dog, and the fight don't ever really be about the dog. Like, but he says that to everybody else. He'll be like, "Oh yes, I have issues with the dog," and I'm like, "You have issues with her."
Well, he did. Well, in Virginia this day at the last little come together, Rocky has a dog tag now.
Oh no, all the time, 24 hours a day, all the time.
No,
it's like a dog in a purse.
Yeah, that's that control.
That's not why he's controlling.
That's not
at all why he's controlling.
He don't want to socialize with her. He just wants her there 24 hours a day. He's just telling us that to look healthy.
He wants to groom her to be his mother.
Yeah. It's
to be his mother.
So be just like his mother, the archetype. He's trying to create a model.
Archetype, yep.
I want what my parents had. I'm going to groom this woman to be like my mama, and there's no way Virginia is going to stand for it. She just
like the difference between I think Vincent is still kind of like wants his woman to be a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it does not come off like he wants to trap her, put her in a basement, tie her in a little ball, and then like make her look exactly the way he wants her to. Like it just sounds totally different. Like Vincent is not about to let his wife spend a night in no dude's house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's the way he says it versus this man who is just like playing the archetype. Like he doesn't know it. I don't think he understands it. His marriage failed. He was never home. He didn't attend to his wife. Also, he's crazy and kidnaps Jones. I don't know what he does.
Yeah,
well, I also think that I guess jumping around to Brianna a little bit. I also don't think that it's in Brianna's nature and character to say, "Oh, I have 5 male friends on the weekends. I go over there and I get drunk and I sleep on their couch and they're cool." I think Brianna is more mature.
Absolutely.
So she's like, there's a line there. I may have a couple male friends. They cool. What I'm not going to do is because I respect my relationship. I'm going to figure out how to nip this shit in the bud.
She would do that. Even though she claims she can't change herself.
I don't think Virginia is able to because maybe she holds those friendships in a very, very high regard.
Because those are her brothers.
Those are
her brothers.
They're the most because they're men.
And she didn't explain it right.
And they feel that void from her dad. So like
that's why she's not trying to give it up.
Yeah. She grew up playing basketball with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Oh no, I grew up playing basketball with a bunch of dudes. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
No, it does. It makes it women are not comfortable being platonic friends with men like that. Or like normal. It's not that many.
Yeah. I don't have a lot. I have a lot of female friends.
And I have mostly male friends. So I already knew she was that type of girl as soon as they showed her. I was like, oh, she's like drinking the bar with her homies. Like, these are her brothers. She just is white, and they don't use that terminology. They don't call them like brothers like we do and cousins. That's my god brother. That's my. They don't.
It's like they don't have cousins. What's that mean? It was like the white people have cousins.
Yeah, do they have cousins?
Yeah, they got a lot of cousins. That's the crazy part.
They don't refer to them like.
But you never like meet them like.
No, they just be best friends. You're my best friend.
They be like, oh, that's my cousin. This is my cousin. You be like, y'all have cousins? Where they at?
Right.
Because you know what, you don't have to be family to be our cousin. You just got to be close enough to the family to where we grew up or we love it, you know, to be my cousin. Like I got plenty of cousins that's not
And so I
cousins,
think
but you can't tell me they're not my
They don't
cousin.
even do the whole like play brother, play. You know, they don't do none of that.
so. I think that culturally in the Black community, we accept people because people say, I mean, how many sisters you really have? Because
Right.
they don't know because we just accept. There's
Yeah.
people who say that's your brother. You don't really question it. It's like, oh, that's my sister. They're like, okay, I have Jennifer's my sister, but I got a couple others that people think that that's my legit sister. Because
Oh, people question me and Matt all the time, but we know each other since we were 5. So it's like they don't question it anymore. But yeah, I have actual siblings. But you know, so it's just like, and he does too. So it's weird, but I really think that would have nipped some of it in the bud to see if he was like not as crazy as we think he is. But it was just other stuff I saw him say that just was like unnerving. It's not healthy that he speaks about stuff in certain ways. Like
I didn't
But
like
I
the way you
also
talked
think-
about being married prior to. I'm like, bro, you
right,
failed.
but I think that's part of it. I think just like Jacob, he has some healing. He has some healing and he has been a healing. And so the things with vodka came up and it was like nip it in the bud, deal with it, attack,
Yeah.
whatever. And he wasn't able to. She wasn't having that. So I definitely think that there's some things that were unearthed by her personality, and it probably was honest. These are 4 of my brothers. She probably really wanted to say it later on. These are my homies, but he didn't take it like that. She really meant like these are my brothers. They were here. My dad left when my mama stepped out. Whatever. They were all I had. He didn't really explain like the basis of these relationships. And so for him, men and women relationship together means y'all fucking, and that's it. And so he wasn't able to really understand nothing
Because
else.
men see that stuff differently anyway, though. So like
Right.
girls would be like, "That's my brother," and then they'll be like, "Yeah, that's just my friend." Like they're not even going to be on the same level because you could. It's a lot of times where, okay, especially in the church, oh sis, brother, sis, secretly plotting and loving each other and hoping that they can get close enough just so they can get become friends, to become best friends, to become to be together. And like the whole saying is, if it ain't blood, you ain't real brothers and sisters. And so that's the thing, like no matter how close you are, if y'all not brothers and sisters like blood brothers and sisters, y'all can at any point become anything.
Right.
So I think that's the fear, like like
oh yeah, that's absolutely the
if those
fear. I
were
think
her
that's a
actual
misunderstanding
brothers,
too.
if those were her actual blood brothers, he probably wouldn't have an issue with it because those are her blood brothers. So if she got drunk one night while he's out on a flight or whatever, and she went to her brother's house, he wouldn't have a problem with it. If she would have said, "Well, I'm gonna go to my dad's house if I'm drunk," he would
I
be like,
definitely
"Okay,
think it's an individual
you're
basis,
safe."
but it's so individual and they don't know each other well enough. Like I think if he's with them long enough, he might not even question them. They seemed harmless, like they weren't on her. They weren't nowhere like up on her. They weren't, in that energy. But I would love to see what it would look like if he hung out with them a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And then the brother thing, like, I don't think would be an issue. Like, I'm 40. I've been saying that forever. And the dudes I date, like, I was just reading what Jen said. But I really just think it depends on the men. It depends on the man. It depends on how you introduce that person. Like, if I talk about, I talk about Matt, all great because that's my best friend, but it's my brother. Like, we have known each other for so long. We family. His siblings, our siblings, all of our whole family knows each other. And it's not just me. Like, me and my siblings call that our brother. Like, it's not just our, single friendship. So, never once has nobody ever questions him. Now, there are plenty of people that I call friends, my homeboys, that I do not call brothers, that I don't bring around if I'm dating somebody. Like, we cannot talk, y'all. We can't be friends because I know y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all energy and y'all's energy around my dudes. And those are the men that you separate from. But like, if a man at this point in my age is not okay with, okay, bye, you can't come in.
So I want to know, Jen, you just said, I know someone that calls all the men he grew up with as brother. it's mad uncomfortable for me. So I understand why her ex didn't like it. I just want to know.
That's that person must use it in the wrong way.
I want to know just in general. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Why? What about that makes you uncomfortable?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Why is that uncomfortable? I'm just curious.
Do you know if she's like crossed boundaries with some of those brothers? Because that might be why you're uncomfortable about it. Because you know the truth.
At one point they was together, now they're not. So it's like
now that's your brother.
Now it's your brother, and that might
Yeah, that could be it. I don't know. My vows have forsaken all others.
Men around situations when you want to get somebody may want you to get rid of them, but you don't because you're around. So
I don't know. Y'all know some vows.
What I don't like is when people introduce people randomly. You can't just be like randomly, we a year in, and you talking about this your best friend. No, it's not. No, it's not. We a year in.
No, it's not. I should have met them within. I should have heard that they should have came up, within our conversations.
Right.
Yeah. A month or so, at least.
I think you have to gauge people. You just got to gauge people and their energy. And Eric and Virginia's energy is just off.
And respond yet?
Let's jump on stuff. Let's go to Brianna and Vincent.
Oh, Brianna and Vincent.
Her dress was gorgeous.
It was.
And her hair.
Yes, I said this was the hair I was looking for.
She looked good.
Yeah, she looked super cute. She looked chocolate droppy, the little like man kind of shirt situation going on was no bra. Like I like the whole look. It's very like I always love how the women show up on Decision Day. They show up like the baddest bitches out here. Like look, I mean even like last week, parents dress.
Oh, look at this. Aren't they cute? I thought that was really cute.
Did you hear that Miles say that he was gonna say no, and then Karen came out in that orange dress, and he was like, "Well, I guess."
He did say that.
He said, "I was
really."
He did say that.
That dress, I
was like, that orange dress was a
that
killer.
Karen
amazing.
She did. She looked.
I was because these Married at First Sights. Okay, y'all. So we from Detroit. You know how we are in Detroit. Like like your hair is done. Like we're not about to be looking like crazy on our. But I've seen a lot of these episodes on Married at First Sight. I know you only got a few weeks, but honey, call somebody. And so like Brianna was like the first one that I like absolutely like. She looked like she had been ready. Her hair was cute. Her dress was cute. Like. People coming out looking like when Virginia came out with the I said, honey.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Is your show pay for your dress?
It's Virginia though.
Just like
it is.
Virginia's still wearing the little raccoon eye makeup. Like she's terrible.
From Virginia.
She's still wearing spring break makeup.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna say it is. When they were in Vegas, she was wearing little hooker dresses kind of situation. So she got in her. This little little paisley.
Yeah, what is that? That's just her work outfit?
Oh, this is the difference. If you ever see prom pictures from African American children going to prom, and you see pictures of Caucasian children going to prom, that would be
we look like hookers. We go to prom differently. We do.
They go to prom in the little party dress,
body party dress with the little
and that's it. When black girls go to prom, it's an event. Okay, it's everything. Yeah. It's a complete difference. So that would be the difference between Virginia, Haley, Brianna, Karen, Amani, because Karen and Amani both came out like
they at prom, right?
I didn't like Amani's hair initially.
No, right?
Nah.
He got it. Yeah.
Her hair on Decision Day was cute because it was her hair.
But
she had a journey with her hair.
It was just her wedding hair that wasn't cute.
Oh, her wedding hair was horrible, but I think I
never liked none of their wedding hair.
I don't like any of the wedding hair.
The only natural I like was Iris. Her wedding hair.
Her hair was pretty.
Iris's hair was always pretty. Like
He
the
made me
entire
feel like a
show.
lazy natural. I was just like, oh
I
my
know,
You're a
right?
lazy natural.
It did make
what
me.
you
I am a
doing with
lazy
that?
natural though.
That
Like
hairstyle?
this is only straight because I had braids, but I am a lazy natural. I don't care.
So what's okay? So wait, so Claire is nice though.
Clara did look nice.
And Haley looked decent too.
I don't like Haley, so I didn't like her out.
It was exactly what she said. It was the Lance Cruz prom versus Cass prom. It was
Yeah.
like it was.
Yeah.
It's
Like if y'all ever look at photos of just like the housewife shows and how they look on their reunions, all the different housewives, it's very interesting. The white housewives versus like the black housewives. They can totally.
I'm telling you, a friend of ours,
not about to look bad.
her little brother went to prom last weekend. She's white, and I was looking at the group picture of him and all his friends, and I was like, where are they going?
You thought they were going to homecoming?
Like
no, to church.
They had on like a suit, like just like a regular suit,
yeah,
and like
Yeah,
party.
homecoming like stuff, but that was for prom.
Oh, they froze.
Oh no!
No,
It
was so good.
I'm back. It was doing so well.
Oh,
Oh no! Oh.
okay, there you go.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, but yeah, I was confused as to where they were going.
No, seriously, that makes that's
super casual, yo.
I know.
Cash.
I know from back when I went to prom, like 20 years ago, things have even gotten higher
for
since.
sure.
Oh wait, way more.
But even when we went to prom, I had on a ball gown. Okay,
My little cousin was wearing red bottoms.
I had on
I had a sculpture.
ball gown, and I had like a French situation.
There was
There
was no need to wear a fragrance because you was smelling like Pump It Up Platinum. Everybody
You had
smelled like
pearls and diamonds in that junk, Jen. You had the pearl pins.
The hair was stiff. Okay, the hair
By
was
the time I graduated,
hard.
we didn't have the pearl pins, but we still have some.
Look, had been what's that was starched. Her hair had been starched.
And everybody had paid like $300 to $500 for their dress. Like this wasn't a dress that you just went down to.
Oh, these girls are paying 1,000 and up.
1,000. Yeah, I work at a high school. It's ridiculous. People and they paying for prom and they're not graduating.
My cousin definitely had red bottom.
That's how bad it is in our culture. Unfortunately, they're not graduating, but they're paying for prom.
Oh yeah, they're going to that prom.
How you going to prom? You're not graduating, man.
Because you have to go to prom.
You gotta have prom because you're probably not gonna get married.
You look stupid.
Yeah.
My dress cost $159 at First Lady, and I got my shoes from Payless, and I put rhinestones on them because prom was a whole last minute, like it was a super last minute. I'm gonna go, and it's so interesting. I was just talking to Jennifer just about this kind of side note, just about like how I watch some of my friends spend money. And I kind of wish from my standpoint, like I see people buying people cars and different stuff like that. I'm like, what about buying our kids like investment properties and things like that's going to make them residual money instead of buying them, spending all this money on new shoes and clothes and cars and things for birthdays that they can't even really drive or use, or it's going to do. It's like it's going to depreciate after a while. So I'm just wondering. It's like we're like, no judgment, just a thought. It's like, man, like if that money went towards investing where they can get money every month from this property, or they can get something like that. I just wonder that. So that's a side note. I think about that earlier, but
or even just like college, like your kid is going to college after this. Like you could actually pay for some books with that money that you use for prom, because books are easily $300 something.
Now I'm gonna give y'all the flip side of that, because I agree. But the flip side of it, depending on where you grew up, depending on the school situation, the area, some of these kids don't know if they're going to live to enjoy any of those things. So some of them enjoy events that come because they don't know what's happening.
I get it. But
It's just an overindulgence that we have an issue with, I think, because now they're doing the whole setup on the lawn, and you have the pictures, and you have. I'm like, y'all, you do that at prom. Why we got to do that at the house?
Well, prom is like a marriage proposal right now. Like they do promposals.
Promposals are
there's like a whole lot of stuff going on, and it's cultural. And I do wonder because we work with kids in the shop, and I've personally sent kids to prom from the bakery. Like that was their prom send off from the shop. And I just wonder, like, what is, I don't know, like, is it good? Is it bad? Is it that it's like at this heightened level? Like, what is?
I think we need a balance. I think people should not break their pockets to do it. You know what I'm saying? I think you can give them that without breaking your pockets. And I think we overindulge all the time. Like, it's an American thing. Like, we just overindulge in everything. And I think we need to find ways to give them that moment, but like not kill ourselves to do it.
It's the same with weddings. I feel like the amount of money that people spend on weddings would be wonderful to help a couple have their first home.
Yep.
It's a nice down payment on a first home instead of spending.
It's a show. It's a show called
Talking about 4 weddings? No,
it's a show, and you basically have to decide between.
It's
marriage or you have to list it on the house.
Oh yeah, the house.
The wedding on the house.
The wedding. Yep. And so people.
I saw that for the first time a couple of weeks ago. It was very
interesting to see what they
choose the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Me and my mom realized it's because most of those couples can afford to get a loan for a house. And now they found the home they want. So they're just going to get it. They'd rather not pay for the wedding. So they're like, let's get the network to pay for the wedding.
All right, 2 things. I always be happy that I got married already because I don't have to do all of that stuff because it literally is stressful. Like I've been in some weddings. It's a lot.
It's so much.
When I got married in 2008, I had a couple of pillars and some flowers, and and Instagram wasn't like that, and Facebook wasn't that. And those are the things. That's my second point. It's the social media that has made these events to be, because everyone's competing. Like that, everyone wants to live up to the same stuff because these things mean something, right?
Everything gotta have a hashtag
about you, right? And like you said, like it would be better if they use this to invest that money into into an IRA even, or into just into some stock, and just being smart about it. But I was talking about this with my friends the other day. They were talking about like how we as a people are very image based, and it's culturally in America, but Black people really have a problem with it because of it's a lot of systemic things that add to those things. So these are not just like Black people.
A lot of this is definitely post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Exactly. Yeah. Most things that they feel like Black people do as a culture are systemic. They come from slavery, come from our poverty. And people, when you live in poverty, what we see when you live in poverty, because I didn't grow up rich, obviously, but what you see is that it's the image that people see that makes people think that they have money, right? So what they don't know is that a lot of people who have money walk around without branding things on, or like Mark Zuckerberg had like a baby shower with like a couple of his friends, because obviously they can afford to buy the stuff themselves, which is a different thing because we have baby showers and people help fund those things. But we see the image, and poor people see the image, and the image is what they feel like is the thing, is the richness. And it's not the wealth. The image is not the wealth. The image is a projection of what you might be able to buy. But
it's going to take some re-education and
a lot of wealthy people don't flaunt their wealth in bags and shoes and things like that because they like to keep their wealth. Most of the people I know who have money are very stingy with their money, and they have a lot of money, and they don't just go and buy stuff and flaunt stuff. They might have one or two like nice cars, and they got a broke down car that they drive everywhere that they don't pay on. They don't have no note. They drive that car to work. They keep the nice car in the garage and they take that out every so often. You know, they're not flaunting it. And it's because they, you know, they've learned that image and money don't always equal, or image and wealth don't equal. And so I would rather keep my money than wear my money.
Yeah.
So, but back to Brianna and Vince.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the nice part of the show.
Yeah. I mean, it was expected. I think it was cute. I think they really have an emotional connection to each other. I think that it came out, and even though she made a comment that who she is, but she's like, I like who I'm becoming with you. And I think
I was so happy she said that.
Me too. I was like, thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Right. I think that's what it is. When I think about Clara and Bach, same thing. It's like, this is who I am, but I'm becoming somebody else with you that I kind of like too.
Yeah, like Claire's like, I have a bedtime now.
Settling into what this next phase of life looks like. And so I think she's willing to bend. She doesn't want to break. Of course, when she bend, I think he recognized some things he could do differently. It's going to be learning. It's only been 2 months of meeting somebody and getting married.
Like they're on a great road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, I'll just say this. I was kind of like Brianna, and my husband is like Vince, more so quiet. I'm very direct, very like outspoken, very like, you know, very like, what you mean? Like, that's not harsh. I'm just telling the truth type of thing, you know. I started off that way, but you do grow because marriage is a compromise. And it's just like, you know, nothing about anybody is perfect and nothing about anybody has to be settled. Like, you don't have to be, because people know her as that, and they're like, well, that's who she is. But if she decides like, she doesn't want to be that, it doesn't mean that she evolve herself. We evolve and grow. And honestly, if you want to be in a relationship with anybody, you're going to make compromises to stay in a relationship. Not just marriages. We do it with our family members. We do it with our friends. We edit ourselves in ways that are healthy so we can maintain our relationships. And if we're secure enough, we're able to see how those things are good for us, because we can grow on those things. Because being direct, there's nothing wrong with being direct. And some of the stuff she said, I was just like, that's not bad. But then there are times I was like, that was unnecessary, you know. And so just learning those moments of like, I could say it, but is it necessary? You know, like, because when they started going back and forth, the episode before, the 2 weeks ago, because they surely took a week off. When she had said something about him, I can't remember what she said, but then he was like, well, I heard that you were directing Bossy, that was a turnoff. I'm like, okay, you know, they're going back and forth, but you know, did she need to say what she said first? Because she has to know, like, he's not the person.
Yeah, she need a little balance. She needs a little balance.
Yeah, he's not secure to handle flat out criticism. And that's how my husband was initially. Like,
and I think he'll grow. I think
have to kind of soften it for them. It's literally the way you say it. It's not even always what you say. Like, sometimes it's what you said, but a lot of times it's the way you say it. My husband would literally be like, "Can you not just say no?" Because he would say no, I would be like, "No," and he'd be like, "That's just so harsh." And I'm like, "What's harsh about me just saying no?" And he wanted me to soften, like. He would be like, "Can you just kind of soften it?" Because for him, it just came off as just kind of just
like you gotta almost explain the no, like no, why?
Right, exactly. And in my family, it wouldn't been seen as anything. Oh no, she just don't want to do it, or no, that's how she feel. You know, it wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have meant any other thing. But for his family, who are a little bit more bendy, a little bit more, you know, just softer. You know, I had to learn how to soften. I could still say no. I just had to say, no, versus no.
Right.
I couldn't say, I'm still saying the same thing, but the way I'm saying it and the way I'm presenting it. Yep, the way I presented it.
It's just like with Jake and Haley. Rihanna the same thing with Benny. She know when to say some shit and when not to.
Yeah.
He picked some more opportunities that maybe we all would have said. It's like you just don't know when to say what. If you can't get to know somebody, it's like, yeah, this is not the right time. Or when you figure people out, you know how to kind of go forward or push back or lean in or lean out or whatever the case is. I think it's just part of getting to know people.
Yep, it's a learning curve, and it took me a second. I've been married for 13 years, and I still be like, oh, I mean, I ain't mean nothing about that, you know. But he knows me a little bit more now. He knows like after 13 years that some parts of me are still just, some parts of me are still just emphatic and direct and but after he knows me, he knows I don't mean nothing by it. I'm just that's a part.
And I think that's the only thing with these couples, they don't know each other enough. And that's why Brianna just needed like pull it back a little bit. Like, damn, do you do that to strangers too? Like,
but she's learning. I think she's learning because I think that's the thing. Like, I think she's like, this is something, and we've seen her pull back. Yeah, we've seen her kind of like go softly.
Yeah, there's no way she can't
go hard into something. Right. The thing is, they're gonna make mistakes. You just gotta have room for those mistakes and know how to come back from the mistakes. Like communicate and fight fair. Because that's the thing. When you start going petty and back and forth, that's when it just start getting
it gets
out of hand, and it gets bad because then people just start saying whatever they want to say, and you just you can't get to that.
The belt stuff.
Can't come back from that.
That cheesecake though, I said, "Oh, look at you! You got her cheesecake. It's been there for 2 days."
Right. You gotta put it back in the freezer.
Eric got that raggedy ass little plastic ring.
That's that silicone ring that you wear, that
she must have asked for
Walmart that you wear when you go out.
She must have been like, "I want that pink ring."
Right. All in all, are y'all happy the show is over or what? What is y'all final?
Yes. I want to see the reunion.
I want to see the reunion.
I definitely want to see.
I don't have no real opinion until then because I don't know if we watching real people.
I want to know if Claire and Ryan have had sex. I want to know what. I don't really want to see Chris and Paige. Honestly, I don't.
I don't want to see.
They don't have to be on the reunion episode.
I don't want to see Chris.
I want to have a situationship. She gonna have this baby, and that's what that's.
I feel like they're gonna be forever connected. I hate that, but I feel like it. Well, Brianna and Vince, they make
me want to date a little bit. They make me want to date a little.
Was that Claire and Ryan? They had a surprise.
Yeah. Claire and Ryan have a little announcement.
They're gonna it's always some dumb shit.
They're gonna get another dog or something.
Yeah, like we got it. They all
have it's nothing major.
It's not.
It's never.
I'm excited to see Jacob and Haley because I don't know. It's just,
are y'all?
I am. I love Jake every time he's on the camera.
Yeah, because he's a little petty and like you need just a little bit of drama. Like,
can I tell y'all I died on the floor when Haley was like, "Oh yes, I'm just so happy in my little swing over here." Like,
and they were like, "How you doing?" "I'm doing great.
I'm doing great in this swing." I'm just.
Oh, okay.
You like good for you because I am too.
And every time I look at Jake, it's like
party when I came home. I had a neon
light
party.
Jake is
just like that, Alicia.
Like I had a neon light party all by myself, and I had steak and eggs, and I was fine, and I was happy because I didn't have to look at you. And I wore the necklace that I wore the necklace that I bought you.
And I got jeans on.
That was a bracelet.
It was a bracelet.
I wore it. Because nobody else wore it, so I wore it.
$800 bracelet. He gonna put it on one of his dogs.
He better take that bracelet back and get his money.
He might do that. I would advise.
He still came with jeans and a jacket.
Like, do y'all think that she's actually gonna like find a human and like be married to the human?
Who, Haley? I think she'll be all right. I think
she'll be able to date for real.
Yeah, all right.
I think she'll be all right.
She can.
I think people see people on these shows and are like, oh, I could date them.
I think she should turn 30 and then.
Well, yeah.
All of them should turn 30 and then come back.
Inbox, trying to say I know how to treat you. I mean, they're basically famous now. Like if they really like fold into to their new fame, just like Amani and Woody have. I mean, they like folded into the fame. Like they are legit Beyonce right now.
So, y'all think everybody's outcome is going to be the same on the reunion?
It's the fact that you said they are Beyonce right now.
Yeah,
they are.
They. Yeah, for real, because they got like they got like so many followers. It's ridiculous, and people are going with them everywhere they're going. Like they got cruises planning, all this stuff going on. People are like, I'm coming to y'all cruise. So if you did come off the show and you didn't find love, I'm pretty sure
you can find something.
Dating opportunities because there's people.
Like I guarantee Jake is gonna have women that find him interesting.
Somebody got
Absolutely.
married after the show. I was watching what was the season? One of the seasons I was going back. Somebody was like married and pregnant, like a year or something later, happily just married.
Oh wait, I remember that.
Who was that?
I feel like was it the black girl?
That black girl from the 8th season is like, and she's not. I think she was married and pregnant.
Yep.
Hold on, which black girl from
the one that didn't work out with the black guy that was coming.
Oh, Mika and Michael. Mika is.
Yeah.
Oh.
With the man who cleaned the yoga studio.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who cannot reveal what he actually.
That's the DC season. Okay, that's the one that I personally know is a shoe seller.
Face
that's it.
The last time I saw
Al Bundy
Instagram.
No, Lee.
It was
like shoe salesman. That's Al Bundy.
But not a shoe salesman. I'm talking about a reseller.
I don't know what he does.
He's a runner for a reseller. I am from DC. We know him. He's a runner for. He does not have a job.
Well, he didn't have a job then.
He's a runner for a person who is known to resell shoes.
Okay.
Well, the
like sneakers, like high-end sneakers.
A white girl.
Well, he's just a runner.
Remember, but it was a white.
That was a crazy season.
Too.
That was.
Yeah.
That was the worst season. And then this season came, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, this was a pretty bad season. And then the next season is starting July 1st, I think they said.
What?
Mm-hmm.
July
soon?
So soon.
I don't want to watch it.
I need a detox.
I need a detox too.
I'm watching.
So y'all think everybody's stuff is gonna be the same after the reunion? I mean, the reunion show, like everybody will still be in the same decision.
I think so.
Everybody?
Yeah.
What about Chris and Paige?
They still the same thing they did. That's still the same decision. They still doing the same shit.
And they're gonna have a gender reveal party.
Jen is done with the show. Jen has divorced the show.
You
Her
know,
spirit has both of their spirits have left the show.
I'm not watching anymore.
You're not watching the reunion?
I watched the reunion for the foolishness, but after that, I'm done.
We have to watch the reunion.
You have to tell me the next season is worth watching.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait for Jen to tell me too.
I'm not watching.
I'll watch.
Jen, you gotta tell all of us. We can't watch it.
I'll watch.
Tell y'all, I watched the matchmaking special, and if it looks like some foolishness, because that's when Chris came on.
That's when Chris came on.
Exactly.
When I saw Chris this year, he ain't even opened his mouth yet, and I was like, "Don't hit."
It's a haircut. That's all you needed to see was that haircut.
Me too.
But for why? For why is he running out of the reunion?
Because he's arguing with Kevin Frazier.
Oh, that's right.
Because we have met the church boy.
Yeah.
We have met him. We know what he looks like.
Saw it before they.
We know what he talked like.
When they put him on the first time, I was like, please don't pick
on
him.
the special. I said, oh, they're not gonna choose him.
Time.
I thought they chose him because he's kept talking about sex, like as a shenanigan. I thought they were just showing the scenes, like these are the ridiculous people we interviewed. Like
they flashed.
Pick him.
I think that they picked him because he was brown.
Yeah, because they said
they needed another brown person.
Black people on it. They have to recruit black men to come on the show.
Yeah, I think they picked him because he was brown. And they really
page up with somebody else though. She would.
Yeah, they could have found or just don't, or not pick her.
They gave Brianna Vicente. They could have gave her a Crescente.
Dominican man
or something.
Dominican.
Yeah,
Dominican.
He's a person of color. Technically.
Yes, he's
So they could have gave Paige. They could have gave Paige anybody.
Anybody.
Honestly.
Anybody.
Made it work.
A black king,
destined to be God.
a white king.
Here you go.
Here you go.
I love it.
Jen.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That was Jen.
All of that.
Right on time.
Right on time.
I feel like Etta broke up with us. I feel like she broke up with the show.
Whoa.
Yeah, we ready to close it down. We done. We ready to close it up.
We've said everything we need to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we have to have another one next week to talk about the reunion.
We gotta talk about the reunion.
Do we? Okay.
No, we can't not talk about the reunion.
All right.
Yeah, what about this? We only talk about the reunion if there's literally something worth talking about.
Well, this is gonna be.
We'll make a decision if we're coming back next week for this foolishness. Because I've been.
Meanwhile, continue watching Handmaid's Tale.
I was gonna ask you because I feel like we should have a.
I love Handmaid's Tale.
Just like one initial just talk about the Handmaid's Tale because a lot of people have a lot of different thought processes on like, yeah, I've been when I post about it to hear people like, I don't like this white woman as like the save them kind of
June. They always write her in.
They don't like June. They don't like
noise. I don't like June either.
What?
She's selfish. June's selfish.
Well, because she's trying to save herself. No, I don't know.
Save herself, you're right, but killing everyone around her.
She just saved
everyone around her dies.
She's in survival. She's in survival mode. Why would she?
That's fine. She's made some very bad decisions.
Okay.
I've only watched like the first season and a half.
Oh, so you haven't seen
your husband was in here last
week. The
Handmaid's Tale. He want to be on the show because he all about the Handmaid's Tale appearance. Your husband. This one.
My husband?
Yeah.
I don't say I wasn't here last week, so it had to be
my husband. Oh, he loves the Handmaid's Tale. He loves the Handmaid's Tale.
Yes, he said he's like, Handmaid's Tale. I didn't get in on this show. I didn't get in on this.
Yeah, he loves the Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, she's written for us to not like her and like
June is.
That's how she's written.
June is.
Did y'all ever watch Weeds?
I heard good things about it.
So there are a lot of shows. The whole thing is putting this white woman in the savior position, right? But most times you are really not supposed to like them either. Like you're supposed to like them, but not like them. As the seasons have gone by, she has made more and more selfish decisions that have killed literally thousands of people. So she becomes the white person at some point. She shows her whiteness at some point. At some point, the women don't matter. She's going to sacrifice everything for herself, which I get. But then say that's what you're doing. Stop telling these women and dragging them down these badass queens you got every time they die because you just trying to get to where you got to get. Like, tell those women that. And the women start catching up to her like, yo, June, I don't think this is a good idea. We're all going to die. And everybody dies except her all the time. Dead bodies everywhere.
That whole bus, that whole train scene.
Jen just posted about.
I can't. That train scene. I can't. No, you rewatched it 5 times? No.
Right.
You watched the train.
No.
Oh my God.
Not 5 times.
I was like this for the
I almost died. I was like,
woo. That was horrible.
Now y'all about to try to make me watch this show.
Yeah.
You have to watch
it in a while, man.
There's a new episode. I gotta watch it.
You gotta watch all of it. Oh my God, Alicia, you have to do it.
I'm like,
I got through the first season. I started the second season.
It's when you start figuring out all the backstory stuff that makes it so crazy. It's like,
yeah, because when they started showing like how they got together.
How you get to the handmaid, like how you get to Gilead, like it's crazy.
Why you were chosen.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna get off.
Oh, and Lydia.
I'm so happy because he's like, no, I can watch
don't leave. I want you to come backstage. Don't leave.
Who?
You don't leave yet. Don't leave it. Okay. So let's just wrap it up because we on the whole tangent. So thank y'all for watching our several episodes of our
tomfoolery
about what's the show? Married at First Sight. Thank you. Married at First Sight. We might be back next week to talk about the reunion show, or we might not because we over it. Y'all know we talking about the Handmaid's Tale now. We over it. So, but thank y'all for just joining us. Where did she go? She went backstage.
Yeah, it went backstage.
Okay, she better have. I want to say, don't leave. So thank you all for entertaining with us and talking. For all the episodes we've watched, thank you for all your input, your interesting thought process. Always cool to whether we agree or not. It's always a good time to just come together and share our thoughts, perspectives on something, to share new ways of thinking about something or of looking at a situation that we might not have before, and really to see ourselves in these situations, because we are not perfect. We are human. And sometimes we're paid, and sometimes we dated Chris, and sometimes we could know who Ryan is, and we've been Clara, and we've been Virginia, and we'll be Brianna, and we'll be whoever. So just thank you for whoever's still watching and listening. We appreciate y'all. So sign out from Etta. Bye, y'all.
Peace.
Bye, Koya Mama.